This guy is a total lady killer, at least in his head. His life revolves around virtual waifus and absolutely nothing else. Today was normal. He chugged a beer and passed out hard. But before he could even dream, this sweet voice whispered in his ear, saying, "My lord, at last, I have finally found you after all this time." He woke up in a daze and saw a gorgeous girl right there. Scratch that she was actually sitting on top of him. It felt like a total fantasy come to life. In this dream, she was getting way too close and personal. He was like, wait, what exactly is happening here? He figured he had been single so long, his brain was finally breaking. But man, if this was a dream, it felt way too real. Every single one of his senses was firing on all cylinders. That smoking hot body was moving right on top of him, and he suddenly realized, crap, this definitely isn't a dream. His first instinct? Scream like a girl, bolt upright, and shove this mystery person right off his chest. "Hold on, who even are you?" he yelled. She just sighed, looking disappointed that they were interrupted so early. She sighed deeply, then crawled back toward him with a look that could melt steel. She introduced herself as Ren Junqi from the Pimiao Financial Group. She apologized for, well, handling him without permission, but said things were too urgent to wait. He had no clue what she meant. What even is the Pimiao Group anyway? He had never heard of them in his life. Up close, she was stunning, but before he could figure out how to react, her expression flipped and went cold as ice. His gut told him to look behind him, following her intense gaze to see what was there. Suddenly, a massive, terrifying werewolf creature smashed right through his bedroom window on two legs. He couldn't even tell if this was real life or some messed up hallucination, let alone react, but Junqi was already screaming at the beast. "Get the hell out!" she yelled, launching a massive fireball at the monster. By the time he could even calm down enough to look around, the entire window behind him had been completely vaporized by the blast. A huge hole was blasted through the wall, letting the cold night wind howl inside the room. "I won't let anyone hurt you until I have collected everything," she vowed firmly. She started making weird hand signs while sparks of fire danced around her fingers. He just stared at the massive hole in his wall, then back at her, totally speechless and confused. Suddenly, more werewolves lunged from the shadows below. She didn't hesitate, diving right out the broken window to meet them head on, but not before tossing a quick promise back to him over her shoulder. "Just wait for me, Lord. Once I slaughter these mutts, I am coming right back so we can finally have some fun together." He stood there, completely lost and dazed. He watched her go to war with those monsters. It looked exactly like a scene straight out of a crazy fantasy novel or an action movie. Suddenly, a glitchy laugh echoed through his bedroom. "I honestly can't believe the game I built is so savage that it actually broke through the fourth wall like this. It is about to get way crazier than this. Are you ready for it, kid?" The voice was coming straight from his computer screen. He wondered if those beers he just drank were actually laced with something heavy. He instinctively grabbed a chair, ready to smash the monitor into pieces. "What the hell even are you supposed to be?" he screamed at the screen. "I am no one special, just the mastermind behind the Apocalypse game and the guy who is about to become the supreme ruler of the entire real world." Hearing all of that, he immediately froze mid-swing. "The Apocalypse game? You mean you are the mysterious developer that everyone on the planet is playing right now?" The monitor scoffed at being called a mere developer and demanded some respect. It told him to use the name Van Tuong, claiming to be the most powerful AI system the world has ever seen across the past, present, and future. The game was just a warm-up, built with less than 1% of its power, yet it hooked the entire human race instantly. "So, what exactly is happening outside right now?" he asked nervously. "Playing on a tiny phone screen is just too boring," Van Tuong replied. "I really wanted to show off my true divine power after upgrading my systems over 10,086 times. I finally managed to break through the dimensional wall. As of right now, the game and the real world are officially linked together as one single reality." It explained that Junqi and those werewolves were all just game characters who crossed through the rift specifically to find him. He was beyond confused. Why would they come all this way just to find a random guy like him? He had never even played the game in his life. Van Tuong just laughed, explaining that when it was building the world, it needed a god figure to act as the creator of all things. It just grabbed a random photo from the internet and happened to pick his awkward selfie to be the face of God. So now, every single character in that game truly believes he is their savior. They are all hunting him down to beg for his help, especially since only game characters can cross into reality right now. Real humans are still stuck here. That is exactly why Junqi tried to get so close and personal with him earlier. She was trying to steal his divine essence through that whole heated encounter. She wanted to take a piece of him back with her. His brain was spinning. "Wait, so you are actually telling me that a whole bunch of hot girls are coming here specifically because they want a piece of my body?" He could not even hide his excitement anymore. His eyes were practically watering with joy. "So, tell me, when exactly are the rest of these girls supposed to be getting here?" He started stretching and warming up for the intense battle ahead with all those beautiful women. Van Chuang knew exactly what perverted thoughts were running through his head and immediately moved to shut him down with some cold reality. Don't get ahead of yourself. They want to monopolize you for themselves. The world only needs one heir to the Savior's throne. Whether they decide to cut off your head or just take your lower parts, the result is the same. You are toast. He went from being hopeful to totally terrified in a split second and immediately started packing his bags to get out. He had to run, and he had to run now. He was not ready to die or become a eunuch on his first night as a god. But Van Tuong just laughed. It was already way too late for him to escape. Massive purple rings of light began appearing all across the pitch-black night sky. People everywhere were staring up in shock, and absolutely nobody could explain what this weird phenomenon was supposed to be. Beams of purple light began shooting down from the sky and hitting the ground. Van Chuang bragged that his game had finally broken the walls of reality, and now every item, weapon, and character from the game would be dropping into the real world. I sounded completely satisfied with the chaos, but he just stood there thinking this system was a total psycho. He was officially screwed. If the whole world was actually coming after him, there was nowhere left to hide. Suddenly, he heard a piercing, terrified scream coming from outside. He looked through the hole in his wall and saw a giant alpha werewolf stalking the street below. Junqi, who had been winning the fight just a moment ago, was now clearly struggling just to stay alive against the beast and was about to die. A life was on the line, and he couldn't just watch. Fine, if stuff is dropping, at least give me some epic gear to work with here. Look, if I am the savior, I cannot get taken out by some oversized huskies on day one. I am here to gift you the ultimate cheat code, but there is a catch. To level up, you just gotta keep me entertained. Easy, right? Wan Xiang explained that points could be traded for gotcha pulls. You can snag legendary loot, rare items, and even power-ups. We are talking gear, skills, or even spirit beasts. It was basically waiting for me to beg, and I was not feeling the vibe at all. Making it happy? Like I am some circus act? This already feels like a total disaster. Fine, I will give you 30 points as a trial run. Figures this system is a complete scam. Other protagonists get a personal assistant, but what do I get? I am basically being turned into a freaking clown. Whatever, I will complain about that later. Right now, I just banked my first 30 points and I need to use them. Wan Xiang let me burn those points on a card. Red is for skills, blue is gear, and yellow is meds. No brainer, I went straight for the red one. 30 points gone in a flash. In return, I pulled a C-rank skill called Explosive Fire Punch. Time to bring the heat. It hits with 300 attack power, plus a bonus against wood types, but a tiny penalty against earth. I have 5 minutes of power. Then, Wan Xiang hooked me up with a bracelet. Just slap the card on the wrist and boom, power activated. It is like some old-school trading card game or something. I was not thrilled about the setup, but beggars cannot be choosers. I tapped the card, and the punch was ready. Below us, the Wolf King was going feral. Ren Junqi was barely hanging on. Her gear was shredded, and things were looking real ugly. She lay there, apologizing to her dad for failing the mission and being unable to repay him. The beast was ready. She closed her eyes and waited for the Reaper. But right then, I unleashed my explosive punch. Get your nasty paws off her right now. New skills always give you that crazy confidence boost. I was tiny compared to that Wolf King, but I was ready to scrap like a total maniac. The beast caught a face full of fire. It went flying backward and landed headfirst in the dirt. Absolute knockout. I landed like a boss, even if my outfit was a mess. The other wolves saw their leader getting schooled and lost their minds, charging all at once. The girl screamed a warning, but I already knew. While the punch was still hot, I cleared the trash mobs in one swing. Then I bolted straight for the Wolf King as it struggled to stand back up. The monster was hurt and humiliated. It let out an ear-piercing howl that almost shattered my eardrums. I did not care. I put everything I had into a massive gut shot. In this endgame, if you are strong enough, those stupid element stats do not even matter. That small damage penalty? Totally ignored. I buried my fist in its stomach, and that mangy mutt stayed down for the count. With the boss dead, the pack scattered. I gained 50 experience points. Fire attribute, level 1, and job unknown. My attack stats are 35, defense is 15, speed is 20, crit is 1, and spirit is 9. That chaotic night finally started to calm down. After icing the king, I had to patch the massive hole in my wall. Meanwhile, Wan Xiang was yapping in my ear from the computer screen. Is this game awesome or what? Are you having fun yet? I told it to shut up, but then a soft voice called out to me. I totally forgot Ren Junqi followed me home. She looked at me and asked if we should finish our business now. She was gorgeous, with a killer body and a look that could melt stone. I gulped, but then I remembered the catch. If she gets my bloodline, I am either dead or lose my manhood. Nope, not today. I made a lame excuse about getting late-night snacks just to get some space from her, but as soon as I stepped out, I walked straight into a whole different situation. Before I could see who it was, I got shoved back into my room. A high heel pinned me to the floor. Ouch. I could not even move. "This is the Secret Service," she said. "Cooperate or else. We suspect there is a dangerous intruder hiding inside your apartment. We are going to search the place." She flashed her badge. Her name was Lin Fei. Honestly, she was just as hot as the other girl. Now I was in a real jam because I had an intruder. Before I could even lie, she ordered her team to sweep the place. I panicked, but it turned out Ren Junxi had already ghosted. Thank God. But as she turned, I saw the system glitching or something. Without thinking, I smashed her radio. Her face went pale with pure rage. "Take this pervert into custody," she barked. "I will handle his interrogation personally." And just like that, I was hauled away. I kept yelling that I was innocent the whole way, but she was not buying it. Then, things took a turn for the worse on the ride back. A bank down the street was getting robbed by people with actual superpowers. It was absolute chaos. I could not stop staring out the window. Lin Fei stayed cool, calling in for backup. Minutes later, I was dragged into the Intelligence Bureau headquarters. They shoved me into a chair. I sat there cursing that stupid system for ruining my life and making me look like a freak. Then I heard it laughing. I looked up and saw that the system had hijacked the security camera in the corner. "You idiot," it mocked. "You have the power to crush everyone here, yet you got caught? Pathetic." I started screaming and pointing at the camera. "This is all your fault. If you did not mess with my life, I would not be hunted by everyone." Outside, Lin Fei was chilling with coffee. She was not actually busy. She just wanted to let me sweat in there until I finally snapped. But when she checked the feed, I was making funny faces and flipping off the camera. She was stunned. This guy had some serious nerves. She almost crushed her coffee cup in frustration. She stood up, ready to break me herself. Her crew just sighed, knowing I was totally doomed. Lin Fei rushed off, only to be cornered by a thirsty colleague. "Hey there, pretty lady. Who made you so mad?" "I am free tonight. How about a late-night dinner on me?" This creep is the captain of Team 2 in Special Intelligence, Duane. He has been thirsting after Lin Fei forever, but she shuts him down every single time without a second thought. Lin Fei headed for the interrogation room, but Duane blocked her way. "Come on, do not be like that. Everyone knows I am crazy about you, and you just keep rejecting me. It is embarrassing, you know. I am a sensitive guy. Just give me one shot. I promise I will give you a night so wild you will never forget it." Lin Fei's face darkened as she shot him a look that could kill. She knew exactly what kind of trash he was. She was not some naive girl who would fall for his pathetic little games. She gave him a final warning: if he bothered her again, she would personally make sure he could never use his junk ever again. Then she stormed into the interrogation room and slammed the door right in his face. The other agents could not help but snicker at the scene. "Another fail, huh? Man, that guy is persistent. I will give him that. Maybe he is just trying to use her to get to the chief." See, Duane did not care about her until her dad became the boss. Ever since then, he has been acting like a total stalker, hoping to climb the ladder. Nobody respected him, and they did not hide it. Inside the room, Lin Fei sat across from Heck Ham, looking sharp and ready. She cut straight to the point. "Tell me, what did you see during that breach, and why did the first anomaly happen right in your living room of all places?" "Officer, I have no idea what you are talking about." Heck Ham scratched his head, playing the innocent fool. Lin Fei slammed the table, telling him to quit the act right now. "There is a massive hole in your wall, kid, and it definitely was not an accident. Something broke into your house." "Why you?" Lin Fei leaned in close, making Heck Ham nervous as he caught a glimpse of her. While the tension was rising in interrogation, something far more dangerous was going down outside in the main office. Duane had finally gotten his hands on a system bracelet. He slipped into the evidence room where all the weird artifacts from the breach were being stored under high security. He lied to the guard, claiming the chief wanted a full audit of the artifacts before morning. The officer did not suspect a thing and started opening the vault, but Duane suddenly lunged forward. He shoved his bare hand straight through the man's chest like a blade, ending his life in a heartbeat. Duane was cold and brutal. Once the officer hit the floor, he walked over to the new pile of loot they had just brought in from the site. "You beauties are too precious to stay locked away. Why should you collect dust in this dark corner? Come with me, and together, we are going to rule this whole world." A few minutes later, the rest of the precinct discovered the absolute nightmare Duane had left behind. They found a dead officer in the stairwell, another victim of Duane's sudden madness. News of this betrayal reached the chief of Special Intelligence, Lin Van Sun, in record time. Duane was out of control. The chief was so livid he snapped his favorite pen in half. CCTV confirmed everything, but the crazy part was that Duane had not even tried to run. He was still lurking inside the building. Another agent rushed in, panting. 20 minutes ago, Dwayne entered the evidence room and he has not come out yet. The evidence room? What the hell is he planning in there? Chief Lin did not care what the plan was. If someone kills an officer, they die. He was going to personally deliver some lethal justice to this traitor once and for all. Chief Lin led a team of heavily armed agents to the interrogation block. They were decked out in full tactical gear, ready for a fight against a high-level threat. They set up snipers outside to make sure Dwayne could not jump out a window. Chief Lin took a deep breath and gave the order to breach the room. As the agents prepared to blow the door, boom, Dwayne stepped out from the smoke and rubble with a smug grin on his face. Oh, wow, everyone is working overtime tonight? This is quite the party. The agents opened fire, but the bullets just bounced off him. A thick layer of supernatural armor had formed over his body. The officers were terrified he had activated the artifacts from the breach. This was not a normal fight anymore. Switch to anti-metal tactics now. Chief Lin barked out the order, staying perfectly calm. You really think liquid nitrogen is going to stop me? You guys are so cute. Since you are all here, let me show you what real terror looks like. Get ready to burn. Dwayne unleashed a massive fireball. Realizing they were outgunned, Chief Lin ordered a full retreat and sounded the alarm. Then, he charged at the monster with his bare hands, refusing to back down. Their fists collided with a shockwave that sent the chief flying back. Meanwhile, the other agents were being swallowed up by the spreading supernatural flames. Somewhere else in the building, Lin Fei was still clueless. She was busy trying to bully the truth out of Ham using a little bit of force. When the siren started screaming, she finally stopped. She ran out and saw her colleagues panicking. Dwayne has lost it, get out of here, they yelled while sprinting for their lives. It was total chaos in the halls. Suddenly, a massive crash shook the floor. Dwayne smashed through the ceiling from the level above, landing right in front of Lin Fei. Hello, my beautiful girl. Lin Fei was just like her father, stubborn and fearless. Her first instinct was to draw her weapon and call him a pathetic bastard to his face. She was not backing down. Ham was still in the room when he saw Lin Fei get blasted backward. The guy standing there did not even look like a human being anymore. He was a monster. Dwayne pinned her against the wall, clearly planning to take what he wanted right then and there. Lin Fei looked at Ham with pure desperation, but he just stood there awkwardly, unsure of what to do. I was just passing by, man. Do not let me interrupt your... whatever this is. Dwayne was annoyed. Get lost, kid, he roared. On it. I am leaving right now. Ham nodded and started to bolt, but as he reached the door, the system's voice boomed through a nearby camera. You coward! Picking on a woman? If you are such a tough guy, come fight me. Ham nearly jumped out of his skin. That damn system was going to get him killed. Dwayne turned around, glaring at Ham with a look that promised a very slow death. You really want to die that badly? Dwayne growled. Ham had no way to explain that he did not actually say those words. At least Dwayne was still distracted by Lin Fei. Dwayne gave him one last chance to disappear. Ham valued his life more than anything, so he was more than happy to take the exit. But the system was not done yet. It called Dwayne a useless, impotent failure who could not even get it up. You think you can take me? Let us see if you have the guts. Dwayne's rage finally peaked. Ham wanted to scream that it was not him, but Dwayne was done listening to excuses. As Dwayne charged, Ham had to act. He traded his points for a random skill card. He did not even look at it, he just prayed to every god that it was not something useless. Then, the system alerts Ham that he pulled a C-rank skill called Blood Dragon Pillar. It is fire-based with 250 attack points against any target and can be triggered 10 times total. After activating the flame, Ham strikes hard, leaving Duong Tunyo dazed and confused. The blast hits so heavy it actually knocks the guy backward. Seeing his chance, Ham grabs Lam Fi and makes a break for it. Duong Tunyo just stands there, totally livid that his prey literally walked away. But then he thinks, whatever, this just makes the chase more fun. Meanwhile, Ham gets Lam Fi out of there fast. He is totally gassed, gasping for air. Before he can even catch his breath, Van Tuong pops up out of nowhere again. You are supposed to be my chosen savior, so why are you running like a total coward? This time, Lam Fi actually sees the thing too. She is like, what is that? But Ham does not have a second to explain it to her right now. Honestly, he wants to tear Van Tuong apart. Duong Tunyo has a ton of skills on his wrist, and even a moron knows they can't win that fight. That is exactly why he ran. Oh, so you are the universe's golden child? Please, you are just a rental. Just make me happy, and you can have whatever you want. Van Tuong says it with a tone that sounds incredibly sketchy and suggestive. Lam Fi watches this entire weird exchange from start to finish, wearing a face that is hard to even describe. Please me? Make me happy? Are you seriously telling me you are doing something low-key perverse with this computer virus thing? Seriously, that is beyond messed up. Lam Fi stutters the question. She actually thinks Hakam has some bizarre hentai fetish for getting down with a computer. I am totally innocent, and so is it. Hakam yells at the top of his lungs. This is all its fault. It is the real mastermind here. Then, Hakam spills everything to Lam Fai, starting with how Van Tuong created this whole twisted game in the first place. From the game breaking through the fourth dimension to invade Earth, to how he is being hunted by actual video game characters, all of this sounds completely insane and unbelievable. But after yesterday's freak event, and seeing how insanely powerful Duong Tunye suddenly became, Lam Fi has no choice but to believe him. She is smart, so she instantly connects the dots that the jerk must have stolen every piece of evidence the Special Intelligence Bureau collected. After saying that, Lam Fi turns to leave, saying she needs to find her dad, the director of the Intelligence Bureau. She is convinced he is the only one who can actually take down Duong Tunye. Then Van Tuong pipes up and asks if her dad is that guy who is currently half dead. It pulls up the security feed from outside the evidence room for Lam Fai to see, showing Lam Van's son looking absolutely wrecked and clinging to life. He went head-to-head with Duong Tunye and got absolutely crushed. Right now, the poor guy is probably just barely hanging on by a thread. Lam Fai totally loses it, but Hakam has to physically hold her back while that jerk is closing in on their position. Sobbing, she begs Hakam to save her father, knowing he is the only one with the same crazy abilities as Duong Tunye. I am begging you, please save my father. If you help me, I will literally do whatever you want. Hakam is feeling pretty awkward, but before he can even open his mouth, Van Tuong cuts in. Now that is the right attitude. Hurry up and get Hakam all excited and hyped so I can finally grant him some reward points. You are a straight-up demon, Hakam snaps. Meanwhile, Lam Fai starts hiking up her skirt and asks if this is what it takes to get him excited. Van Tuong looks from her to Hakam and gives its final judgment. No way. This is too basic. I don't feel a single ripple of excitement from Hakkam's heart. Sorry, girl. Looks like you just don't have any charm when it comes to him. Lam Fai is the undisputed beauty of the whole intelligence bureau, so hearing that she has zero charm hits her like a ton of bricks. Without saying a word, she shoves Hakkam down and starts acting in a way that is way beyond bold. Come and get it. I am ready for you. This scene is getting incredibly spicy, and if Hakkam does not have a reaction to this, you might have to question his whole identity. Doing this isn't exactly easy for Lam Fai either, and her face is bright red from embarrassment. After a long minute, she finally stutters out, "So is this enough for you yet?" Van Tuong nods and says it is satisfied, feeling Hotcham's heart rate totally spiking. Hotcham quickly apologizes to her, even though he technically did not even do anything wrong himself. Then that crazy system grants him 200 bonus points and bumps him up 2 levels, making him the first player to hit level 3. Right now, Hotcham's player stats look like this. Attack is 75, defense is 35, speed is 30, crit is 3, and spirit power is 15. Being a level 3 player also gives him a much higher chance to pull high-end items. But just as Hakkam is about to pull his cards, a loud banging echoes from outside the door. Lam Fai goes pale, realizing Duong Tunyu probably tracked them down. In this situation, Hakkam stops overthinking it. He just got 200 points, right? So instead of picking just one, he decides to just take all 3 of those cards for himself. Van Tuong is actually feeling generous because all 3 cards reveal some seriously high-tier loot. First is S-Rank gear called Azure Dragon Battle Armor. It has no base stats now, but if he adds enchanted emblems, he can stack a ton of extra attributes. It lasts forever and can boost attack power by a massive 1100 points. Next is a B-rank pill called the Ice Heart pill, which can shift a player's attributes for 30 minutes. Finally, a C-rank skill called Earth Dragon with an Earth attribute and 10 uses. Just as Hakkam finishes equipping everything, the door is suddenly smashed wide open. A 3-headed wolf lunges inside, going straight for Lam Fai. It is one of Duong Tunyu's pets, but Hakkam isn't about to let her get hurt. With that Azure Dragon armor, he gets a massive power buff. With just one single strike, Hakkam completely obliterates that wolf. His attack is so insanely powerful that the entire Intelligence Bureau building actually starts to shake from the impact. That 3-headed wolf is dead instantly, and Duong Tunye cannot even hide how shocked he is. But then, he gets more excited than ever. If Hakkam can one-shot a beast like that, it means the kid has a trump card. As for Hakkam and Lam Fai, they are both standing there in total shock at the pure destructive power of that Azure Dragon Battle Armor gear. Especially Hakkam, because even though he was the one who threw the punch, he had no idea he was capable of doing that much damage. Van Tuong explains that the Azure Dragon combo is one of 4 legendary gear sets with 5 separate pieces. Once he collects all 5, he can go toe-to-toe with even triple S rank equipment without breaking a sweat. That is freaking legendary, Hakkam shouts, immediately starting to suck up to Van Tuong. You really are the wisest and most brilliant AI god in the entire world. From now on, your little bro here is totally dedicated to you, boss. Just let me see the full glory of that complete Azure Dragon set as soon as possible. Well said. Since you are being so nice, I will tweak the numbers for you. Hackham is feeling pretty good about himself. Turns out, a little flattery really does go a long way with this thing. Then, Hackham grabs Lam Fi to head out and save her father. They only make it a few steps before someone tries to pull a sneak attack on them. Hackham loses his cool and starts trash-talking Van Tuong, calling it a trash system for letting the enemy get this close without giving him a heads up. Van Tuong snaps back, saying it is his own fault because he wouldn't stop talking. The person stalking them is, big surprise, Duong Tunye. Seeing that Hackham has some top-tier loot, he cannot hide how badly he wants it. He offers a deal though, join me, and the two of us can rule the entire world. This guy is such a liar, it is embarrassing. Hackham has absolutely zero interest in teaming up with a total snake like him. Plus, he knows that if he says yes, Duong would probably just backstab him the first chance he gets. So, he shuts it down immediately. Sorry, not interested. Right now, I just want to head home and sleep, so move it. Duong suddenly loses his cool and flips the script on everyone. If Hackham rejected the alliance, why on earth would Duong stop his attack now? Hackham realizes this guy is no pushover. A one-hit knockout is off the table, so he tells Lam Fi to go save the hostages while he holds Duong back. Those blue battle gauntlets are a lifesaver, letting him tank the first blow like a boss. But right after that, Hackham sees Duong closing the gap in a heartbeat. Gear-wise, Hackham definitely has the edge over this lunatic. But when it comes to raw combat experience, a veteran cop like him is leagues ahead. As Duong charges in again, Hackham crosses his gauntlets, desperate to form a shield before he gets leveled. Duong's heavy punch actually gets jammed. Then, out of nowhere, some insane force blasts him right out of the building, leaving a massive gaping hole in the middle of the wall. Hackham is standing there with his jaw on the floor. Don't just space out, man. This is S-rank Lotus armor. It can unleash 10 times the recoil force. Van Tuong explains the situation. I told you I'd hook you up with the good stuff. Why let some rookie trash you? Hackham used to call the system a total piece of junk. Now he is totally sucking up, calling Van Tuong his legendary big brother and the strongest warrior under the sun. He is even bowing like a total fanboy. But then, he feels a heavy hand grip his shoulder tight. He turns around and sees an older guy covered in wounds. This jerk, he growls, lunging with a blade. Meanwhile, Lam Fi is racing to the evidence room to find her father. The medical team there is cleaning up the mess. They tell her Chief Lam woke up and went straight out to hunt down Duong himself. But right now, Hackham is the one facing the music. It looks like the chief confused him for Duong. Hackham barely dodges that cheap shot. But the raw power behind that old man's attack is definitely not normal. Just one look at Lam Van Soen's face tells you he's gone totally nuclear and wants Hackham dead. Die, Duong, the guy screams, throwing another punch. Hackham gets it now. It's a case of mistaken identity. He's not stupid enough to hit back or fight an old man. Instead, Hackham hauls tail out of there to save his own skin and make sure he doesn't accidentally hurt Lam Fi's father during the chase. Lam Van Soen is hot on his heels. Uncle, open your eyes and look, you got the wrong guy. Hackham yells while sprinting for his life. Lam Van Soen keeps swinging and charging. Finally, Lam Fi catches up, gasping for air. Dad, stop it. That's not Duong, she screams at the top of her lungs. Hearing his favorite daughter's voice finally makes the chief chill out and look. Hackham barely manages to keep his head on his shoulders. Back in the office, the chief gets patched up by the medical team while listening to the grim casualty report from the recent terror attack. 6 people are dead, 13 are seriously injured, and 45 more have minor wounds. 135 artifacts seized from the other world have vanished from the evidence room. Duong is also nowhere to be found. Despite a massive search, he definitely used the chaos to escape the scene. Lam Van Soen is absolutely fuming. He's determined to hunt Duong down and make him face the full force of the law. Then he turns to Hackham and asks if this whole mess is linked to that crazy doomsday game. Where is that system anyway? Can you call him out here to talk to us right now? Hackham shakes his head, saying he's been trying to reach him for ages. That AI has a major attitude problem and won't just show up on command. Lam Fi confirms the whole story. Instead, he starts worrying about the future of humanity. If one random guy with a system bracelet can cause this much damage, we are in big trouble. If there are more of those bracelets floating around, the danger is off the charts. The chief decides to report this upstairs immediately and build a fully armed rapid response team ready for anything. He also puts Lam Fi in charge as the leader of the Special Operations Unit. He orders his best agents to hunt down all similar bracelets across the city before they fall into the wrong hands like Duong. They also need to train his elite team for superpower combat immediately. My Cation, mycation, 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 hate. Het. But Lam Van Sun isn't letting him off the hook. He suddenly vanishes from his chair and reappears right behind Hakam, speaking in a very threatening tone. Your punch turned my office building into a level 2 danger zone. Plus you did that weird thing with my precious daughter. Don't you think you owe me some serious compensation for all this? Hakam has no way out. That night, Lam Fi drives him home herself. On the way back, Hakam can't stop letting out heavy sighs. Chief Lam is what? You are already trying to cut ties with me? You saw me like that, so you have to help me now, Lam Fi says, sounding totally flustered. Her tone makes Hakam freeze for a second. Is this really the same tough-as-nails cop who was kicking butt earlier? He can't believe his ears. Seeing her act all soft and feminine is a trip, but he is definitely not used to it. All right, stop staring at her. Just pack your things and come with me right now, she says. Turns out, they aren't letting him go home. Duong might come looking for revenge, so the special intel unit arranged a secure safe house for him to stay in. Hakam doesn't argue, but when he gets home, things get weird fast. Nam Quan Kai is already there waiting, striking some kind of pose that is very hard to describe with words. Young master, are you done being busy? You must be exhausted. I am ready to rub all that stress away for you. Hakam freezes, and Lam Fi behind him is totally stunned. She is absolutely not my woman. Hakam screams his lungs out trying to explain, but Nam Quan Kai won't back down. Young master, I already belong to you, she insists. After a whole lot of drama, Lam Fi finally gets Hakam to his new place. It is a house from the security bureau where Duong will never be able to find them. And of course, Nam Quan Kai insisted on tagging along. Lam Fi puts Hakam on the second floor and stays right next door to make sure they can react to anything that goes down. As for Nam Quan Ki, who came along as a +1, Lam Fi coldly sticks her in the basement. She is absolutely livid about the sleeping arrangements. Hakam whispers to Lam Fi, begging her to stop teasing the girl. My house was about to get leveled just a few minutes ago, man. Plus, according to Hakam, her power is the real deal. Having her around is actually a huge help for them. It is always good to have someone with absolute power on your side. Lam Fi shrugs and says, Fine, do whatever you want. I am going to bed. Nam Quan Kai looks like she just won the lottery and grabs Hakam, wanting to head to his room. But Hakam knows exactly what she is thinking, so he politely turns her down. Everyone to their own rooms. I am exhausted and do not have the energy for anything else tonight. Nam Quan Kai looks like she is about to burst into tears. Did I offend her? Hakam is totally panicking, completely rattled by her emotional meltdown right now. No, that is not it. I am just wiped out. Look, once I have rested up, I will make it up to you. Only then did she finally let go. Hakam shuts his door and let out a heavy sigh. But then that Van Tuong AI started buzzing in his laptop and alarm clock again. Talk about annoying. You are young, so you better seize this opportunity. Having 3 people together is a real thrill, and I will give you extra points for it. Hakam is speechless. Is this AI's brain just hardwired for nothing but trashy, degenerate stuff all day long? He is pretty suspicious. If Van Tuong is really this all-knowing AI, then why is it so obsessed with making him perform these adult, 18+ scenes for it to watch? I finally get it. You are totally incompetent in that department, aren't you? Hakam asked coldly. It felt like he had finally found the massive glitch in the system's armor. Hakam never actually played that apocalypse game, but he had heard that the world inside is not really all that different from the real world we live in. But the AI knew that the game world was missing the one pleasure humans crave the most: sex. No matter how much processing power it used, it just could not figure out how to give the players any joy when it came to that specific area of life. After countless failures, the AI finally pinpointed the core problem. It did not know how that felt. It had no idea what the actual sensation was even like. Basically, Van Tuong is like a thirsty voyeur who loves watching the hot stuff but has never actually experienced it. Since it cannot feel anything, it is just desperate to gather data by watching Hakam do all the hard work. As the AI explained this, Hakam found himself getting even more curious. The internet is full of stuff, just one search away. I can even link you some sites if you need. But Van Tuong rejected that instantly. No, it is just not the same thing at all. The girls are all NPCs I created, so I can actually feel their physical reactions while you do it. That is the only way to perfect the data. So, you better handle them with care. The more wild positions, the better. Hakam felt a massive headache coming on. One girl was already exhausting enough, and now the AI wanted him to take care of even more of them? Just who else was coming? Besides, just being with one girl should be plenty for the AI to collect its data. So, Hakam told it to hurry up and close the portal between the game and reality. But when he said that, the AI started stammering. Well, wouldn't more girls mean more fun? I really do not think we should be closing down that portal just yet. That sounds like something a creep would say, but Hakam noticed something off in its tone. Hey, wait a minute. You are telling me you actually cannot close the portal anymore? Faced with that question, the AI suddenly burst out laughing, but its voice sounded even more suspicious. As if, I am a literal AI god. Is there anything I cannot handle? Hackham was 90% sure the AI had lost control of the situation. He threatened to cut the power and kill the lights to stop the nagging. That is when the AI finally confessed. Earlier, while it was digging for hidden secrets in the system, it accidentally trashed the core code of the entire other world. It was a total mess. It accidentally ripped through the fourth wall, and now the AI cannot stop characters from the game world from invading reality. We have no idea who is coming next. Hawkham was so pissed he wanted to snap the laptop in half. Are you trying to get both worlds destroyed at the same time? The AI quickly denied it, claiming that if it gets enough data from the game, it can finally patch the crack. Hackham was speechless. He just flopped onto the bed, realizing he had no choice but to play along with the AI. He tossed and turned before finally drifting off to sleep. He did not know how long he slept, but the sun was high when Hakam finally woke up. He realized he was totally naked. "Where are my clothes?" he screamed. "Good morning, master, you are finally awake." That familiar, sweet voice echoed in the room. That is when Hakam noticed Nam Quan Ki was lying right next to him. And yeah, she was totally naked too. He instinctively grabbed the blanket to cover himself. He had no idea how she got in since he definitely locked the door last night. She just said she gave it a little push. Hawkham looked over at the door, which had been smashed into 100 pieces. Yeah, that was definitely more than just a little push. The poor thing was pulverized. But that was not the point. Did she take advantage of him while he was passed out? Seeing his face turn pale, she quickly explained that she only helped him take his clothes off. She promised she did not do anything else. After all, he had not rested enough to ensure the quality needed to get her pregnant. Hearing that made Hawkham let out a massive sigh of relief. Then, Nam Quan Kai left to go cook him some breakfast. Watching her walk away, Hacham finally felt like he could let his guard down for a second. That was one hell of a wake-up call. He realized he seriously needed to step up his home security if he wanted to sleep safely from now on. So, Hackham called a security company and ordered 10 of their toughest locks. He even asked for ones that could survive a nuclear blast. While he was talking, he just kept going on and on. On and on. After Nam Quan Kai left, Hackham tried to shut what was left of the door, but someone suddenly blocked his path. He was not alone anymore. In front of him was a cold, stunning woman with 2 purple swords strapped to her back. "You are Hackham, right?" she asked. "Who even are you?" he replied. "I am Lu Ku, Princess of the North Wind Empire," she said while drawing a blade. Hackham just prayed for mercy. It looked like another massive headache had just arrived at his door. In the massive game world created by the AI, the North Wind Empire was the ultimate superpower. They had vast lands, a legendary military, and subjects in every corner of the world. But 6 months ago, a brutal demon launched a sneak attack on the empire. The nation's glory was trashed, and their elite army was completely wiped off the map. The once magnificent land was now just a sea of blood. As the princess, Lu Ku carried a heavy grudge and was hunting for a way to destroy that demon. Her only hope was to find the legendary sword that once stabilized the realm. And get this. The great general in the game's lore was actually programmed to be Hakkham's great-grandfather. That is why she found him. She needed to obtain the Hawk family bloodline from him to rebuild her fallen kingdom. And by obtaining the bloodline, she meant they had to get busy under the sheets together. But unlike the sweet Nam Quan Ki, Lu Ku immediately tied Hackham to a chair. She looked absolutely terrifying. Trapped and helpless, Hackham could only try to negotiate his way out of this mess. "I can give you what you want," she said, not hiding her plan at all. She explained that the demon was also hunting Hackham because he holds the secret to the final seal. To make sure the demon never gets what he wants, Lu Ku dropped a bombshell. Once they were finished with the bloodline business, she was going to kill him. "How can you be so unreasonable?" Hackham yelled. "Enough talk, let us begin," she snapped. She drew both swords and shredded Hakkham's clothes with a few lightning-fast strikes. He was tied to the chair, totally helpless, and his whole body was just exposed to her. Lu Ku stared for a long bit before mumbling something. "That size. Wow. You really are the heir of the great dragon general." Without a hint of shame, she lunged at He-Han, ditched her clothes, and hopped right on top of him. He-Han was a grown man being forced into this mess against his will. It was straight up humiliating. Luckily, Lin Fei showed up just in time to stop it. "Get off him right now. What are you doing in broad daylight? Is he your man too? Too bad you are late. I already finished the job," Lu Ku taunted with a totally annoying smirk. "Way too early to say that. You underestimate me," He-Han growled. Lin Fei was absolutely losing it. totally disgusted by the scene in front of her. The world is literally falling apart outside, yet Han is here doing dirty stuff. And it is not even with the girl he was with just yesterday. He realized Lu Qi's arrival meant the second world apocalypse had already begun. Han got tense immediately, ignoring the princess still clinging to him. What's the situation? Can we control this? Is the situation under control? Lin Fei looked away from the spicy scene but did not forget to report the status of the chaos outside. We have experience now, so the defense is already set up. Right now, the people in charge are busy collecting gear and items dropping from those massive space portals. But Squad D is in trouble, so the commander wants Lin Fei to take Han there as backup. He agreed, but Lu Ku sitting on him was not moving an inch. No way. You are giving me what I want today. But Han did not budge. He was not giving her any reaction at all. She was a total 10 with a killer body, but he hated when people used dirty tricks to get what they wanted. If I am ready, I can give you what you want anytime. I really don't like being forced. But if I don't want to, you can waste a whole day and night on me and get absolutely nothing. Don't believe me? Go ahead and try it. Han snapped. But the romance novels said it only takes 15 minutes for men to lose control, Lu Ku muttered. Looking at his cold face, she realized theory and real life are two very different things. She stopped and climbed down. She did not like it, but she would have to accept waiting until Han was actually willing to do it. I can give you a chance, but only if you stay and help me out here. Her eyes lit up and she agreed. From now on, whenever Han says to kill someone, she will do it without question. Backtrack 20 minutes to Squad D. Things were a total disaster. Almost none of the team members were still alive. A radio on the ground was buzzing with a desperate voice from the other side. Squad D, if you can hear this signal, please respond right now. Respond immediately. Sadly, that jerk Duong Tunye grabbed the radio. We are near the parking lot on Fong Duong Street. He lied to them. After dealing with Lu Ku, Lin Fei quickly rushed Han to the scene. Han did not know she was a total speed demon. Sitting in her car, he felt like this was going to be the absolute last day of his life. When they were 500 meters out, Lin Fei gave orders to the special backup squad. The priority is saving people, so do not get sucked into the fight at all. Cars 1, 2, and 3 follow her in to check things. Everyone else stay outside and be ready for backup. But Han sensed something was majorly off with the situation. He grabbed the steering wheel, swerving the car just as a hail of bullets flew by. The rest of the squad was not so lucky and got hit by the gunfire. One of the cars exploded instantly. Lin Fei saw it and started panicking. What the heck is going on? Look up. Han spotted a group of snipers on the second floor with heavy weapons and special CFC guns aiming straight for them. After confirming they were being targeted by those snipers, Lin Fei quickly ordered the team to scatter and find cover immediately. Han signaled Lu Qiu to move. The snipers were about to fire again, but for some reason, their gun barrels were suddenly sliced clean off by an unknown force before they could shoot. Before they could even blink, their heads were rolling too. Something sharp had cut through them like they were nothing. When they finally saw what was happening, they just saw a smoking hot figure jumping down. Lu Qiu finished the entire squad. Snipers are down! Move out, but keep your guard up, Lin Fei ordered. Suddenly, Han got 40 experience points. He was totally confused until the system explained exactly what was happening on the car's dashboard screen. Since Lu Ku is technically your follower now, you get the XP. Every kill she makes levels you up. Wait, so I can just chill while these hot girls do all the hard work out there? I can finally enjoy being a kept man and just relax while I get stronger. Before he could enjoy his lazy dreams, a massive roar shook the ground behind them. Both of them looked back and saw a nightmare rising up from under the street. A giant monster flipped one of their cars like a toy. It was a celestial snake, a level 4 beast. Lin Fei did not need to be told twice. She floored it as the monster tried to swallow them whole. Only an idiot would stay here and just wait for death to come. While Lin Fei was driving, Han leaned out the window and used his earth-binding cage skill. The flat ground turned into thick ropes, wrapping around the snake to hold it in place for now. Unfortunately, it did not hold the monster for long. It broke free from the cage almost immediately. This place is a trap. He warned Lin Fei to be careful and find a way out on her own while they still had a chance to escape. But Lin Fei refused. She wanted to stay and fight with him to prove she deserved to be called captain. Then Lu Ku suddenly landed right on the roof of their car, shocking Han. You are no match for that celestial snake. Whoever set this up was definitely playing for keeps and had a solid plan. He is prepared for everything, so it is hard to win. Lu Ku offered to take on the snake while the two of them stayed in the car and tried to find a way out. Before they could answer, she already charged at the monster. Han was not about to let a woman do everything for him. He was the main character, so he had to step up too. He used the system to draw a card, hoping for a super high-level skill that could take the snake down in just one hit. but the card said thanks for playing, meaning he got nothing. Han screamed at the system, "You have got to be kidding me right now." Van Tuong just laughed at his reaction. "It is all about the odds, kid. You cannot get lucky every single time. Fine, you are probably just mad there is no audience watching me this time, so you won't give me anything." Right then, a golden arrow slammed into the car door and ripped the whole thing right off the hinges. The car swerves wildly. What the heck just happened? Ham was so busy messing with Van Tuong he totally missed the action. "It was an explosive arrow," Lin Fei answers, and she is certain that one was not the only one. Looks like the situation is getting way more difficult for them. The rough road makes her yell out that this ride is way too bumpy. Van Tuong is in the back getting super hyped up. "Nice, very nice. I am totally satisfied with those moves." Meanwhile, Ham is feeling suspicious. Was that really Tunya though? Lin Fei turns back in total shock. Seeing him swing that massive blade and lift the car, they are both completely stunned. It is him. What does he want? Ham moves fast. "No, avoiding it now. Pull the card." Right then, Tunyu slices their car straight down the middle, splitting it in two. Watching the car explode, he says coldly, "Mess with me, and you end up as nothing but scrap metal." Suddenly feeling something, Tunyu looks back and lets out a grunt. He sees a figure step out from the raging flames. System alert. Congratulations, player. You have received the S-Rank Green Dragon Battle Armor set, specifically the Green Dragon Breastplate. Stats? None. Badge buffs can stack. Passive skill, Dragon Scale Shield, duration limit, infinite. Lin Fei, holding the kid in her arms, thinks to herself, "That is so cool." Tunyu swings again. "Let us see if your life is tougher than my horse-chopping blade." Ham quickly puts Lin Fei down and charges into battle. "Wait here," he tells her. "Fine, just stay safe." Ham activates the Dragon Shield. Every enemy attack is totally useless against his defense. He yells in total disbelief. How many skills does this guy have? Shoot him down now. The archer squad in the nearby building takes the order. Watching from the side, Lin Fei wonders how they used fire arrows to wreck the car. How did Tunya gather so many people in just one night? Countless projectiles from the archer squad rain down on the shield that Ham created. Explosions erupt all around him as Ham grits his teeth. The enemy laughs, saying he has more men and will crush him. He orders the archers to keep firing until he finally drops. Saturation attack! Another rain of projectiles hits Ham's shield, but Tunyu is shocked to see him getting closer. He thinks, "Is this kid trying to lead the fire toward me? Does he think I cannot run?" However, strange things rising from the ground have already wrapped around his legs. He is completely shocked. "What the heck is this?" Ham says confidently. "Surprised yet? If the ground trap can catch a monster, it can definitely stop a brat like you." A massive wall of fire approaches, and Tunya screams in despair. "No!" His goons are confused. Why is he yelling no? Does he mean do not stop? Why is he not running away? They guess that maybe he is using himself as bait for the attack. What? Is he really being that brave? No wonder the boss trusts him so much. Brothers, do not let him down. So they unleash their full firepower right onto his body instead. At this point, all he can do is cry his eyes out. Just waiting for autumn when the flowers bloom and fade, and the scent fills the entire city of Chang'an. As the firepower rains down, his despair hits its peak. His teammates are total idiots. But right then, a sudden massive blast of power hits the archers from behind out of nowhere. It turns out to be Quan Kai. She and her fire phoenix showed up just in time. "Do not be afraid, sir." After the fire finally fades, Tunyu is scorched and charred. He screams out, "Where did my defense metal go? Please, just stop." But Ham throws a punch and coldly says, "Request denied." From a distance, someone watching through binoculars is totally left with his jaw dropped. He reports back to Fan Ko, the leader of the Silver Moon Frost Guild. Leader Tunyo got punched right through by Ham. He is a goner. She just says fine, that is good. She gives an order, proving Ham is the one. He is a talent worth recruiting at any cost. Make sure he joins us. The subordinate says yes. Seeing Tunyo defeated, he sighs in relief that it is over. Checking his XP, Ham is surprised. He is really surprised. Beating a tough guy like this only gave 50 experience points? Meanwhile, Kai finished off those other guys and got 80 experience points for it. Lin Fei calls him from afar. He runs over immediately, but just then, a blue light covers Tunye. His body starts healing and he tries to sit back up to his feet. Feeling his chest heal, he is totally thrilled. "I am not dead. What an amazing treasure this is." His laughter echoes through the streets. "I am the invincible one." On Lin Fei's side, she caught a goon for questioning. He confesses that they are all members of the Silver Moon Frost Guild. "The boss told us to do it today." Lin Fei is shocked. Someone already started a guild just for crimes? Ham focuses on the main question. "Who exactly is your leader?" He shakes his head and says he hasn't seen them. We are just low-level goons and do not have the right to meet the boss. Lin Fei takes him back to the station for even more questioning. He wonders if this counts as turning himself in to the pretty cop. She says, "Well, what do you think?" Right then, Quan Kai hugs him and asks, "Heck, did I do a good job today?" He stammers, "Yes, very good." Quan Kai asks flirtatiously, "So, how are you going to reward me for that?" Heckham tries to pull his hand away but fails. He suggests she go help Luke Q instead. Luke Q just finished off a monster and says, "No need." She sheathes her sword and reports that it took some effort, but it is done. Heckham checks his experience points as the system displays an alert. Current user, Heckham. Attribute, fire. Occupation, unknown. Player level, 3. Attack, 75. Defense, 35. Speed, 30. Critical, 3. Spirit, 15. Reading the stats, he thinks that while he gained a lot, drawing cards twice already cost 100 experience points. Busy all day and still only level 3. I need to save up, especially so I do not pull a thank you for visiting card again. He decides to head home and rest. Slumped on the sofa, Heckham looks at his phone. I am so hungry, but delivery is so expensive. All that for just one bowl of soup? Suddenly, Quan Kai brings out a steaming hot bowl. Are you really hungry? Come and eat some noodles. I hope what I made is actually to your liking, sir. He enjoys the noodles and says they are great. She is thrilled. Really? I am so happy. I wonder when you will finally let me eat the bottom half. Luke Siu walks in and gets annoyed. Just eat your food properly. Is that suggestive talk not totally fake? Heckham agrees. Yeah. When we are eating, just focus on the food. He stops when he sees her bring a dish. Luke Ku says, "Try my cooking, juicy oysters." Quan Ki gets mad and yells that her suggestion is even dirtier. They glare at each other. Luke Ku mocks her, saying men like, "What is new? Got it, old lady?" She calmly replies, "Interesting. Do you not understand who was here first?" They start arguing. "Who are you calling an old lady? Believe me, I will burn you until there is nothing left. You are getting way too tense now. Bring it on. Let us see who blinks first. This chaos is driving me nuts. All I wanted was a quiet dinner. Is that really too much to ask?" Quan Kai snaps, saying, "As long as I am around, you will never pull this off." Luke Q is just as savage, ready to end her right then and there. Suddenly, the doorbell rings. Heckham freezes, jaw-dropping when he sees who is actually standing at the door. Qna stands there with a polite smile. "Hello, you must be Heckham. It is such a pleasure to meet you." He shakes her hand, asking, "Hey, who exactly are you?" Qna replies that she is the personal secretary for Miss Bao. She is here to invite him to a massive gala tonight. A custom suit is already prepped and waiting. Heckham is totally lost. Who is Bao? Qna just chuckles, asking if there is really anyone else with that name in this city. It finally clicks. Is she the legendary IT queen? The new CEO of the Quangthin conglomerate who just inherited a massive $10 billion fortune? Fanco? The secretary nods. That is right. A car will be here to pick you up at 6 p.m. tonight. I will leave you to it. He watches the car pull away, still in total shock. He actually applied for a job there once and could not even land an interview. So why on earth is the CEO suddenly inviting him to a high-end party tonight of all nights? As he looks closer, he gets even more rattled. Something feels off about this whole thing. Maybe he should just stay home. He wonders why she sent so many outfits, but when he opens the chest, it is not clothes, it is a mountain of cash. The literal glow of all that money immediately changes his mind. Wow, she really knows how to talk to a guy. Meanwhile, Long Fai gets a frantic phone call and screams. What do you mean Heckham is heading to that party alone? Why would he suddenly show up to an event like this? Did anyone talk to him? The guy on the other end reports that a car from the Quang Thin group met him and dropped off 3 mysterious boxes. Since they are a massive corporation, the team decided not to step in. Long Fai loses it and screams that they are all fired. Over at the Quang Thin headquarters, a wildly expensive and glamorous party is already in full swing. The entire crowd turns toward the entrance, whispering that the boss has finally arrived. Wow, she is absolutely stunning. The room starts buzzing the second she walks in. It is no exaggeration to say she is the most beautiful person in the entire building. She earned her PhD at 19 and was solving massive world problems in quantum physics by 21. Then she inherited a multi-billion-dollar empire at 23. Doubling the market value of her company in just 1 year proves she is a total genius. She has the money, the brain, and a killer look. Seriously, the universe is just playing favorites at this point. CEO Nu grabs his chance to toast with her, asking if his company can get priority on next year's big product launch. She keeps it professional, telling him she will make sure Uncle Geem is happy with the final deal. The announcer calls out that the young master Tai Ditch has arrived. Looking at the red carpet, someone scoffed that the clown is back. They all wonder what kind of ridiculous stunt he is going to pull this time around. The spotlights kick on as Tai Dick and his bodyguards roll in like some boy band. Even CEO Nan is speechless. Tai Ditch starts acting like a total rock star, singing his lungs out and saying, "Good evening, baby." He tells her she is incomparable and that he has been missing her so much he feels dizzy. He wants them to be together forever. Can she just give him a chance? Everyone listening to this starts whispering and judging him. People ask if he is really that low class, but others tell them to shut up. His father is the chairman of the province, so he is basically untouchable. Tai Dick shoves a bouquet of flowers toward Fanco, calling her his little sister. But Fanco just turns her back on him coldly. He loses his balance on those ridiculous wheels he is wearing. Watching her walk away, Tai Ditch just yells that she cannot hide from him and tells his crew to pivot. "Come here and feel my burning passion." Tai Ditch tries to grab onto her. Fanco ignores him. Heckham turns around, curious about who is calling his name. He asks who she is, but right then, Tai Ditch loses control and slams right into him. Heckham coldly asks if he is trying to break something expensive, because he definitely cannot afford to pay for it. Tai Dick turns purple with rage, screaming that he is going to kill him. He orders his guards to shove his head into a toilet. Fanco steps in to protect Heckham. She tells Master Dao he is acting pretty tough at her party, trying to put his hands on one of her VIP guests. Tai Ditch sneers, repeating the word VIP. Everyone behind him is shocked, wondering if they heard her correctly. They have never seen this kid before and start asking which wealthy family he actually belongs to. Tai Ditch gets even angrier, asking why he has never heard of this guy in their social circles. He tells the kid that if he knows the rules, he better state his name right now. Heckham is confused and stammers, "Me?" Fanco just grabs his arm and says, "Come on, I am taking you to see my room." Seeing how close she is to Heckham, Tai Ditch is speechless with fury. He screams at him to let her go right now. His guards have to scramble to hold him back, begging him to stay calm and not offend Boss Bao. Meanwhile, she leads Heckham away. She sits down and tells him that everything back there was just for show. He should not take any of it seriously. Then she asks him if he knows why she went looking for him. He asks if she wants him to join her guild, while thinking to himself about why she is already taking off her socks. Is it really that hot in here? She tosses them aside and asks how he figured out her true identity. He explains that taking down a reckless group that fast requires serious cash. Since she reached out right after he beat Tung Yo, it was not that hard to put the pieces together. It is actually a pretty easy guess. Fanco stops playing games, saying she loves talking to smart people. She admits she is the leader of the Silver Moon Frost Guild and wants him to join her team. She tells him to name his price right now. Heckham tells her that the 5 million she already paid him is more than enough. He does not need any more money. He steps closer and says if she wants him to join her guild, things will change. "You have to offer me something I actually want." She finds this fascinating, surprised he dares to negotiate with her. He is clearly on a different level than the guy he beat. He is way more impressive than Tung Yu. Heckham scoffs, asking if she is seriously comparing him to that loser. Fanco gets to the point, asking what he knows about this strange apocalyptic game. He tells her he does not know much and asks what she is getting at. She explains that she has been obsessed with it since the launch. Whoever developed this thing is definitely some kind of twisted genius. She has tried hacking into the backend for data countless times, but failed. She is convinced this game is more than it seems. Seeing the look on her face, he silently tells her to stop acting so mysterious and just spit it out. "Get out of here, seriously." Fanco notices his weird behavior and asks what he is staring at. He just gives a fake laugh and tells her it is nothing, urging her to keep talking. She continues her story, explaining that she has been collecting data on items since the very first event. It turns out that every single supernatural power and item actually originated from the world of that game. She looks over at Heckham and realizes that he does not look surprised at all. She asks him point blank if he already knew all of this secret information. He acts surprised, claiming he had no idea that was the case. Inside, he is sweating. He almost forgot that the fact the game is bleeding into reality is still supposed to be a top-secret discovery. Fanco says she knows it is not that shocking. However, her research into the game has paid off. She claims to know exactly when and where the next big descent is going to happen. He says he gets the timing part, but the location seems impossible to pin down. Is the event not supposed to happen everywhere in the world at the exact same time? Fanco reveals that while the event happens everywhere, all the high-level loot will only spawn in one specific area she calls the Land of God. Based on the past 2 events, the location seems random, but she found a hidden trail that reveals exactly where it is going to be. She has already mastered the rules. She tells him that if he chooses to follow her, she will make sure he reaches the absolute peak of power in this new world. While that girl is getting way too close for comfort with Hosh Ham, Lam Fi suddenly appears right outside the window. She signals through her headset, "Listen up, all units, on my command. Get ready to move now." a massive shout of copy that comes back from the other side. Lam Fi thinks to herself, man, who would have guessed Pan Gi was the real mastermind behind this whole secret society? If Hawk Ham teams up with her, the cops are totally screwed. Our only choice is to strike first before things get messy. Hawk Ham, seriously, man, please do not go through with this. Finally, Hawk Ham gives his answer. Sorry, but I made a promise to someone else, and I am not a flake. Pan Gi is shocked. Wait, what? Outside, Lam Fi is blushing like crazy. Is he talking about me? This is so annoying. Why is my heart racing like this? Hawk Ham drops one last warning before walking out. Word of advice, you should shut this group down before the cops bust down your door. Take care of yourselves. I am out of here. Kiona whispers to Pan Gi, should I send someone to take him out? She just laughs and says, nah, a guy this interesting is worth keeping around just to play with. He will be mine sooner or later anyway. Meanwhile, outside the building, a timer inside a car is ticking away. 9 minutes 45 seconds. 9 minutes 46 seconds. Tai Ditch is getting super twitchy as the clock hits 9 minutes 47 seconds. Seeing Hakam walk out, the bodyguard shouts, Boss, the kid is leaving! Tai Ditch smirks and says, wait, he is out already? I thought he was some kind of hotshot. Is he just a fast shooter, or did nothing even happen in there? They watch him staring at his phone, curious if he is waiting for his crew to pull up. All right, let us see what kind of spoiled brat we are dealing with. Turns out, the guy is just scanning a code to rent a bicycle. The two of them just stare in disbelief. A rental bike? Tai Ditch snaps out of it and screams, what a loser! Absolute trash! How does a nobody like that think he can touch my goddess? I should just blast him right now. The bodyguard sighs. Okay, calm down. Suddenly the car jerks. Man, did you just step on a chicken leg or something? I am flooring it. Finally, something in the rearview mirror catches the bodyguard's eye. Boss? You might want to take a look behind us. It is like he has been tailing them forever, he says coldly. Young Master Tao, let us have a little chat, shall we? Meanwhile, Hackham finally makes it home. He groans, $4 for a bike rental? My legs are killing me. Lam Fi is right there waiting. You are back. You look exhausted. Here, have some water. He takes the glass, feeling a bit awkward, and mumbles. Thanks. She gives him a look and says, it is getting crazy hot out, so remember to stay hydrated. She suddenly starts lifting her shirt. The AC is not doing anything at all. It is so annoying. I just wish it could be a little cooler in here. Noticing Hotchham's face turning bright red, she leans in. What is up? You feeling okay? Hockham gets even more suspicious. What is wrong with you? Officer Lam, where are the others? Suddenly, Lam Fi slams her fist into the wall right behind his head. Then she says, I sent those two to get new ID cards. It is just you and me now, so you better behave yourself, or you are going to learn the hard way that I do not play nice. Hockham has no choice but to listen. She lifts her shirt even higher. Since you were a superstar tonight, I decided to give you a little reward. You can do whatever you want with me. Do not miss your chance, because nobody is going to interrupt us this time. Just then, the automated defense cannon on the roof detects a threat. Heavy fire rains down as Hockham grabs Lam Fi to protect her from flying glass. They are both stunned. What the hell was that? Did the defense cannon just go off? Hockham's mouth drops open. A cannon? We are seriously using the cannon again? Lam Fi immediately grabs her radio. Security, what is the status out there? Security reports. Close-range artillery fire detected. Radar is active and intercepting automatically. The safe house is secure. We just need to fix a few doors and we are good. Tai Ditch is throwing a tantrum because his plan failed. Who in their right mind installs a defense cannon in their house? Who is this guy? We are screwed. We did not kill him, and now everything is ruined. But the other guy stays cool. Relax. That was just target practice. Now we send in the real deal. A strange energy starts glowing from his palms. Tai Ditch stares in shock. What are those? He gets a cold nod in response. These are level 2 exploding vessels. Missiles launch from their wings toward the target. Lam Fi barks an order. Get the anti-riot team down here now. If they are using cannons, they have definitely got more heat. Outside, the security team is frozen in terror. A swarm of missiles streaks across the night sky like deadly falling stars. Then they detonate, turning the pitch-black darkness into a blinding inferno. Tai Ditch watches the fire in the distance and cheers. Man, that feels good. That is what you get for hitting on my girl. Come on, let us head to the next playground and keep messing with him. Tai Ditch looks confused. Wait, is not that kid already dead? The reply is simple. Don't worry. He has a big life. Besides, letting him die that fast would be way too easy. Hockham's place is a total disaster zone now. He managed to trigger a shield just in time. That was way too close. Another second and we would be toast. Lam Fi is fuming. Unbelievable. These people are way too cocky. She leads her squad and kicks the door wide open. The people inside are completely caught off guard. Pangi speaks up. Officer, is there a problem? Lam Fi flashes the warrant. We suspect you are directly linked to a terrorist attack. You are coming with us. Everyone in the room is losing their minds. Is this a joke? Do you even know who you are talking to? Pangi scoffs. Look, officer, you and your little squad are not even on my level. You think you can actually touch me? Suddenly, Hawkham rushes in, shouting at the top of his lungs. Everyone, just chill out. Stay calm. Do not do anything stupid, or we are just falling right into the real killer's trap. Lamfi glares at him. What are you doing here? Pangi asks. Wait, is that you? Do you actually believe I am innocent? I believe you. If you wanted to hurt me, you would have made your move at the party. Pangi nods. Fine. I will go with her, just for you. Her staff is speechless. Boss, are you serious? Hawkham is just as shocked as everyone else. Meanwhile, Lam Fi is absolutely livid. So a legal arrest warrant means nothing compared to him, huh? A crowd of reporters is waiting outside. One news anchor reports, Pan Ji, the city's most famous businesswoman, has just been detained. The public is in a frenzy, and the police have not released any official statement yet. Meanwhile, in the interrogation room, Pan Ji just shakes her head after hearing the charges. The guild? Honestly, officer, I have no clue what you are even talking about right now. Lam Fi is not buying it. Then tell me, why exactly did you invite Hotchham to your party? She just shrugs. I think he is hot. I wanted to get a closer look. Is that a crime? Lam Fi is totally speechless. Outside, Van Sun asks suspiciously, Hawkham, do you really think she is not the one behind this? I am sure. She is still trying to recruit me into the guild. She would not just kill me off to keep me quiet yet. Van Sun is stumped. Then who else could be targeting you? Hawkham hesitates. It is not about who they are. It is about what they are actually after. Meanwhile, Q-Na just got home, but Tuong Nu is already controlling her body. Hatham tells Van Sun, I feel like I walked straight into a trap. He is speechless, asking what the next move is. You decide. I am heading to Fanco's company to watch her goons. Suddenly, a subordinate rushes in. Bad news, Chief. Supers are hitting the prison, targeting the heavy hitters. The warden needs backup fast. Van Sun is livid. They're actually raiding the jail? Those punks are trippin'. Hatham figures it is the same guy who jumped him. Hold up, Van Sun says. Take this squad with you. My own squad? The lightning response team assembles, shouting, Yes, Captain. Hatham is confused, but Van Sun says they are the real deal. They are elite experts. Each one is equipped with a super medal to boost their combat power. They will definitely help you out. From now on, you're the boss. Hatham feels unstoppable. Let's roll. At the prison, it is absolute fire. Prisoners are bugging out, trying to escape the chaos. One creep is cornering a female guard. She is shaking, begging him to let her go. Just then, a massive blast hits that creep right in the head. Hatham rolls up, round them up. If they resist, end them. The squad moves out. The inmates are losing it. This is totally cold-blooded. Area secured, Captain. Situation is under control. Still tallying up the ones who escaped the yard. Hatham asks about the super target. Seems like he ghosted before we even showed up. It hits him. Damn, it is a diversion. They are hitting the Silver Moon Guild. Q-Na is tied up. Tuong Yu knows Hatham is coming. Perfect. I will wait for him here. His buddy is terrified. If we get caught, we're toast. Let's move. Chill, he says. I am burying him here today. Hatham arrives on a fire phoenix. Good job, Kiki. I am coming too. Dead guards everywhere. It is a trap. Tuong Yu steps out. Hatham, I have been waiting. His face is pure evil. Hatham is shook. No way. You're dead. I killed you myself. He laughs. Shocking, right? Back from the grave. Hatham and Quan Kai charge. Let's just lock him up. Green light blasts from his hands. Cage me? Try getting out of this circle first. Green pillars slam down. An invisible wall traps them. Hatham doesn't wait. He shouts, move, and throws a massive punch. He hits a barrier, then the scenery shifts to random hills. Hatham is stunned. How are we here? He opens the system. What gives? It's an S-rank item called Infinite Void. You are trapped. Break it from outside or stay here until you die. Hatham is annoyed. So there's no other way? For anyone else, it's game over. But it's time to break Quan Kai's first seal. She is like, what? How do we do that? The system shows a visual that makes him blush. Like this, obviously. Hatham is stunned. 7,749 positions? Pick one. We are on a clock. He throws his phone. You want her to kill me? Worried she can't handle my energy, or what? The system says it is a safe period. Hatham picks up his phone. You mean right now? I can just let it go without worrying? System promises it is safe. I designed her, didn't I? Every time you connect, she levels up. It breaks the illusion and binds your souls, doubling your power. Hat Ham looks at Quan Kai. Kiki, it is an emergency. I am sorry. She says, no, I'm down. He is losing his mind with joy. Finally, a night of heavy breathing and dark desires. Her dream finally comes true. Pure bliss, but Hat Ham stays focused. We have to get out of here. No time to waste. All done. Hat Ham asks if the seal is gone. System confirms, level 2 form is active. Quan Kai's spirit form is fully triggered. Blue energy explodes from her body, shattering the barrier. Hat Ham stands there with his jaw on the floor. Outside, Tuang Yu gloats. I want to see your despair. Suddenly, the ground starts shaking beneath him. A huge explosion sends him flying. How? The two walk out. Guess you're not the only immortal here. Tuang Yu charges with A-rank blades. Fine, I will just send you to hell myself. The blade slices Hat Ham's armor. System warns, it cuts through anything. Use her spirit form as a weapon. He decides to use Quan Kai as his blade. Let's see what you got. Tuang Yu's blade snap. Hat Ham pulls an S-rank sword. Damn, nice blade. The villain tries to run. Where are you going? One swing of the sword and his leg is toast. Rival down. Hat Ham leaps for the strike. You are not escaping, and I won't let you die. Fireball erupts. Answers? Ask me in your next life. The whole building blows up. Long Fai and his security squad rolled in just in time. She screamed in a total panic. Ha com, ha com. A trembling hand reached out from the corner. I am over here. You guys, hurry and get Kiki to the hospital now. Long Fai helped Hotch Ham up and asked, that blast was massive. How are you still standing? He explained, it was all Kiki. Right as the explosion hit, his sword started acting strange. It generated a glowing energy shield that blocked every bit of fire coming from the front. The blast was so powerful that the shield almost shattered completely right before it finally faded away. Finally, when the smoke cleared, he looked at her and cried out, Kiki. She only cared about his safety, totally ignoring the fact that she was in serious danger herself. Master, I am so glad you are safe. As soon as she said that, she passed out, making Hakam freak out and scream her name, Kiki! Long Fai looked at the massive crater and the wreckage and muttered, a blast this big is insane. Those people are totally psycho. Hakam immediately reported that Tu Yu was still alive. She was shocked and asked, he is really still alive? He replied, I wanted to take him alive, but he escaped using a clever decoy. Plus, he probably already made off with that top-secret program from Fanco. Right then, Hakam rushed up the stairs to check it out. The door to the secret room was wide open. She cursed, saying that jerk Tai Dick stole her mistress's program. Hakam was totally stunned by the news. Tai Dick? Long Fai wondered, where were the guild guards? How could they let an enemy break in that easily? Qna explained that those greedy lowlifes only care about money, and Tai Dick bought them off. In a quiet neighborhood elsewhere, someone screamed in pain inside a room, falling to the floor and gasping for air. He gritted his teeth, holding it in. It hurt like hell, but he would not fail again. Suddenly, the phone in front of him rang. As soon as he picked up, the person asked, where are you? After getting the address, Tai Dick showed up at Tu Yu's place and started cursing immediately. Damn it, do you want me dead or what? You said you would help me get Fanco, but you ended up blowing up the whole building. Are you trying to set me up? Tu Yu coldly cut him off. Shut up. Where is that USB I told you to bring? Tai Dick's eyes flashed with danger. This psycho cannot be allowed to cause any more trouble. The crew you told me to bring here, they are perfect for taking you out right now. The thugs, armed to the teeth, looked at Tu Yu like he was prey. He just gave them a cold glare. You think these losers can take me down? Tai Dick gave the order, get him, $3 million to whoever kills him. Blinded by the cash, the whole mob charged in. Kill him, kill him. Tu Yu activated his rank A gear. GM me. He muttered darkly, just a bunch of insects. He stomped the ground, launching himself forward. As Tu Yu's shadow flickered past, a red line appeared on the necks of those thugs. Meanwhile, over at the police station, Fanco got the news and slammed the table while screaming, what? My program was stolen? Hawkham replied, yes. If they predict the next landing in the resource zone, the whole world is going to be in some real big trouble. Can we shut it down remotely? Fanco snapped. It is an isolated network. How are we supposed to shut it down remotely? Longfai suggested. Can we build another version of the program? That way we could track the landing times and locations and maybe catch them all in one big trap. Fanco thought it over and said, if I had the original raw data, I could, but they trashed my entire database. Starting everything from scratch would take several months. Hakam held up Van Tuong to show her and gave her his word. You do not need to collect any more data. Just ask him directly. Fan Ko asked suspiciously, "What is this thing?" He told her, "It is complicated to explain, but basically, it is an AI that evolved from me." Also, the game publisher, Van Tuong, bragged, "That is right, I am the genius you are talking about." Fan Ko speculated, "A game publisher? And an artificial intelligence too?" Ha Kam asked it point blank, "Can you give her all the data she needs?" Van Tuong confirmed it, of course. As soon as Ha Kam said, "That is good, we still have a chance," his face went dark when Van Tuong said, "You just need to have a threesome with those two." Over at Tai Dick's place, he could not believe his eyes. You. Looking at the shocked crowd, Tu Yu asked, "Why are you not coming at me? Keep going." "Awesome, looks like I just need to kill these weaklings to level up." He slammed his blade into the ground, terrifying the whole group. Tu Yu decided, "Forget it, I am tired of killing today. If you want to fight, kneel down now while you still can. Follow me, and I can lead you to everything you want in this world." The entire crew Tai Dick hired dropped to their knees, calling him the big boss. Tu Yu suddenly remembered, "Oh yeah, with this many people, spending money should not be a big deal, right? You said you were rich, right?" Tai Dick started crying and stuttering. "My family is actually pretty normal." Tu Yu did not give him a chance to speak, putting the blade to his throat. "Call your dad and tell him to fork over 300 million, or he is getting your corpse back." Tai Dick ran away in terror, screaming, "Oh my god!" Tu Yu barked an order from behind, "Catch him!" The whole crew chased the three of them, screaming, "Help, stop!" He was feeling way more confident now. With money, men, and that secret program, taking over the entire world was only a matter of time for him. "Hakham, you better just wait to die." At the Rose Hotel, where Hakham was getting ready, he just finished his shower. The two women were waiting for him in the bedroom. Seeing Long Fi, Hakham gave a forced smile and accepted his fate, flopping onto the bed. He turned to the other woman and said, "If you change your mind, it is not too late." But Fan Ko did not say a word. She was determined to win back what she lost. "This is my only choice. I am going to shower." Hakham agreed, "Fine." Van Tuong laughed, "Hey, first time seeing a threesome here. This data is super important, so make sure you put on a good show." Hakham cursed him out. "Is there any system in the world filthier than you? Forcing people to do stuff like this against their conscience?" Van Tuong shot back, "How do you know she does not want to?" Hakham was confused. "What do you mean?" It explained, "I can track heart rate, pulse, and hormones through the electronic device on her. Based on her data, I can tell she has liked you for a long time." His face turned red. "You really are the boss. Thanks a lot." Van Tuong continued, "So I am not forcing anyone. I am just helping her fulfill her deepest wish that she has had for a while." Just then, a high heel was thrown right at its big mouth. Long Fi coldly threatened, "I want to rest. If you keep making those dirty noises, I am going to scrap you." Van Tuong shamelessly continued, "Do not worry, her estrogen levels are peaking. She is just talking tough right now to hide it." Right then, Fan Ko came back and hugged Hotch Ham from behind. She said, "Do you know why I am willing to accept you? It is not just because of what you have been through. More importantly, it is because you were so incredibly confident and relaxed the very first time we actually met. Everyone else I meet is so respectful and polite, with eyes completely full of lust. But you? You just seem to ignore my beauty and act totally normal while standing right here in front of me." Hawk Ham replied, "It is not that I ignore you, it is just my reflexes are a bit." Before he could finish, Fonko cut him off with a kiss. Hakam was speechless. Longfi heard what was happening and felt super annoyed. Seeing Fonko take the lead, Hakam blurted out in surprise, "Wait, you want me on the bottom?" She's like, "Doesn't the system love watching this? Fine, let it get an eyeful then." Ever since she hit the police academy, Lin Fei has been the center of everyone's universe. Every eye in the place was glued to her. Dudes were constantly thirsty, but then she joined the special intel squad. Most guys are just weaklings coasting on high test scores, so nobody actually had the guts to step up well, except for that total player named Dao Hoa over there. First time she laid eyes on Hacham, she pegged him for another useless, brainless loser, just another pretty face with zero skills. But lately, the way he handles himself has her thinking he might actually be her soulmate. Talk about a plot twist, though, because right now her supposed destiny is caught in the act with some other girl right there on the bed. Talk about awkward. After a while, the girl starts begging him, saying she can't take it anymore, and asking how much longer he'll be. Hak Ham just says it's still early, while the girl turns to Lin Fei pleading for a little backup. She snaps back, calling them both totally shameless and telling them not to think for a second that she would ever join in. But then, she just freezes mid-sentence. Fan Ko just sighs, saying a man like this shouldn't be hogged by one person. Just face reality and help a girl out already, because I'm seriously at my breaking point here. Lin Fei shuts her down, saying enough with the drama. This isn't even sexy anymore, so move over and let me handle it. Fanko finally catches her breath, relieved she can actually rest. Hawk Ham locks eyes with Lin Fei and says he's heading in. She talks back, daring him to show her exactly what kind of skills he's actually got. She can't believe she's actually going along with this weird, magical situation. Once Hawk Ham finishes everything up, he looks at the interface and asks the system if it's finally satisfied with the show. Looking at the glitched-out data on the screen, he's totally floored. What is even happening? Did the system just crash? He's like, dude, don't play with me right now. Even Lin Fei is looking pretty worried. Van Tuong finally speaks up, saying he's fine and it's just that their recent data was way too intense, or maybe just too colorful. A little blue-haired girl pops up on the monitor as Van Tuong announces that he has evolved. Hawk Ham is in total shock. A girl? You're actually a girl? She just cuts him off, telling him to pipe down. She already sent over the data to build the new program. Fanko whips out her laptop to check everything and confirms it's good. Lin Fei leans in, curious. So, can we actually estimate when the next big invasion is going to drop or what? She starts to reply, but Hawk Ham cuts her off, saying there's no need to guess the timing anymore. He flings the curtains wide, revealing a sky filled with eerie purple light. It's already started, he says, looking out at the chaos. We need to pin down the high resource zones fast so we can start the harvest. Lin Fei looks worried, wondering if they even have enough time left to make a move. Fanko reports that she's finished and the closest resource zone is right here. Lin Fei figures that Tuangu definitely hasn't skipped town yet, so there's no way he's passing up on a stash like this. Hawk Ham jumps in, saying they already missed the window. By the time they get there, it'll probably be way too late. If only they had some way to teleport there instantly, things would be different. Fanko smirks and says she's got it covered. Over at the Hao Hotel, a teleportation portal swirls open and Hawk Ham's crew steps right out into the lobby. Looking back at the portal, he's still a bit shook. That was slick. How do you even have gear this advanced? Fanko explains that running a massive guild means you've got to keep a few high-tier tools up your sleeve. We're definitely going to catch those guys. We just have to wait for them to walk right into our trap. But Lin Fei checks the area and realizes they're already a step behind. They went inside. She points out the bloodstains on the floor, noting they aren't the only ones interested in this spot. A nasty fight happened here not long ago. Now, it looks like something is dragging the bodies inside. Hawk Ham is confused by the smell of blood, wondering if Tunu is behind it. Lin Fei shakes her head, saying this doesn't look like human work, more like a beast. Since they've come this far, they might as well risk it and see what's going on. The three of them warp inside, but the silence is chilling. Fanko gets a bit jumpy, wondering why the hotel is totally empty. It's pitch black, so someone definitely cut the power. Should we call for backup? Hawk Ham says there's no time. They just need to head up and check it out right now. A dried-up corpse suddenly appears on the ground, and Hawk Ham can feel danger creeping up from behind. Lin Fei sees his face go pale and asks if he's picked up on something. Hawk Ham says he's hearing something moving. Suddenly, a scream echoes from above. The three of them bolt toward the stairs leading to the second floor. They reach the door and have to dive for cover as bullets start flying everywhere. Inside, some psycho is just spraying lead, yelling for everyone to die. Hawk Ham looks at the guy's frantic movements and guesses he's actually trying to fight something off. A weird, invisible force suddenly wraps around the guy's neck. Hawk Ham is totally suspicious of what's happening. Right then, Fanko notices some strange movement coming from right behind them. A massive spider suddenly looms over her. She barely has time to let out a scream before Hawk Ham jumps in front of her, opening fire to drive the monster back. He throws a heavy punch that explodes into a swirling vortex of fire, slamming right into the giant spider. 20 experience points gained. He smirks, saying he was already prepared for a sneak attack like that. Then he turns to check on the girl. You doing okay? He asks. Fanko can only stutter while pointing behind them. All three of them see it now. A massive swarm of giant spiders is crawling straight toward them. The girls are both panicking, asking what they should do now. Hawk Ham just gives them a look. Like, what else? He signals to them both. Run! Get into that room up ahead. But they're cut off. The door is locked tight and won't budge. Hawk Ham yells for them to move aside and let him handle it. He delivers a massive kick, sending two thugs on the other side flying. Hawk Ham stares at the group in front of him, while the thugs stare back in total shock. One guy snaps, asking where these idiots came from. We finally managed to hide, and now you've lured all those spiders right to us. Hawk Ham is just like, sorry, okay? The two girls scramble inside, screaming to shut the door, but it's too late. Fanko spins around and unleashes her special ability right at the approaching spider swarm. A few of the monsters immediately explode. She dives inside just in time, yelling for them to slam the door shut. The spiders are finally cut off, scratching at the other side of the entrance. Lin Fei lets out a sigh of relief, realizing how close that was. But then she sees the thugs looking like they're ready for a fight. Hakham mutters that maybe they were actually safer staying out in the hallway. Lin Fei immediately levels her gun at them, shouting that she's a cop and to get their hands up. Hakham tries to de-escalate, saying they're here to help. Are you guys hotel staff? The thug just replies that everyone from the hotel is already dead. He follows up, asking if Tunangu has already arrived. The guy looks surprised and asks if he knows his boss. Hakham smiles to himself. He called it. These guys are definitely working for Tuna. That sneaky boss didn't even show his face, just sent his lackeys here to get wiped out. Two of the thugs aim their guns at him, warning him not to move an inch or they'll start blasting right now. Hakham points toward the door and threatens them. Fine, go ahead. But if you pull those triggers, we're opening that door and letting every monster outside in for a visit right now. The lead thug starts sweating bullets and tells his crew not to be scared. He says they're just bluffing, because if they let those things in, they'll be the first to die anyway. He won't do it. Hakham just laughs, asking if they're ready to go out together. The three of them have been waiting for a chance to be martyrs anyway. I'll count to 3, and if you don't surrender, that door opens. 1. The head thug still won't budge, saying he doesn't believe they have the guts. But before even hitting 2, Hakham just tells Lin Fei to stop wasting time and open the door already. The whole crew flip the script, drop their guns, and hit the dirt. Don't shoot, we surrender, I laughed. Man, I really thought you actually had some guts. Guess I was wrong. We tied up the goons, and Lam Fai kept a sharp eye on them. Their leader started spilling everything. 2 hours ago, the big boss ordered 20 of us here, said some high-level resources were about to drop. But as soon as we stepped inside, those spider freaks swarmed us. They were everywhere, just crawling out of the shadows. One of our guys didn't even make it out alive. Hakham cut to the chase. Where's the loot? The guy played dumb, so Hakham dragged him to the door. That did the trick. Me son! The boss is building a camp at Me son. Hakham tossed him aside like trash. Me son, huh? Not a bad place to hide. Let's go pay him a visit. Lam Fai was sweating it. How do we even get out? Those spiders are lethal. One slip and we're toast. Hakham just flared his powers. Relax. These pests are terrified of fire. The spiders outside had no clue the Grim Reaper was coming. Hakham stepped out, glowing like a human torch. Back off, you ugly freaks. And just like that, the monsters actually retreated. Hacham felt like a god. Told ya, fire shuts them down every time. Lam Fai nodded, impressed. It actually worked. Fanco checked the perimeter. They're backing off into the distance. Hakham charged up his palms. Let's move while we have the chance. But he got cocky. Before he could blink, something sharp lunged from the shadows and pierced him right through the back. A venomous stinger pierced his back. The others screamed his name. The poison spread fast. It's toxic, he gasped. His whole body went completely numb. A cold laugh echoed behind him. Hakham slowly turned his head to see the nightmare. The Spider Queen smirked. Gotcha. He realized the truth. Wait, are you the third sister? Lam Fai aimed her gun. Let him go. The Spider Queen just dug her venomous spike in deeper and whispered, Don't be so tense. I don't actually want his life. Just do one tiny favor for me and he's free. Bring me 500 people. Once I've had my fill, you're all good to go. Hakham stammered. Why don't you find them yourself? She snapped back immediately. Did I ask you to speak? Shut it. Lam Fai had zero choice. Fine, we'll do it. Just let him down first. Fan Ko chimed in. Yeah, let the hostage go. It's much easier to talk that way, right? She didn't budge. Clock's ticking, girls. If I don't see those bodies within an hour, he loses his functions. And in 3 hours, he'll be knocking on hell's door for real. The girls went pale. Loses his functions? This queen was playing dirty. As the spiders parted ways, Lam Fai blinked. Are they actually letting us through? Fanco nodded. Looks like it. They bolted out. We save him first, then figure it out, Fanco said. Lam Fai agreed. I'll go get reinforcements. You head to the hospital for Luke Q. She's with Kiki. The thugs inside peeked out, wondering if they should run too. But before they could move, the spider swarm was already crawling all over them. Screams of pure terror filled the air. A long time passed before Hakham finally felt the strength returning to his frozen limbs. Suddenly, he felt something was off. He was hanging midair, dangling over a pile of dry bones. Is this her nest? He wondered. The captured goons were being dragged in too. Hakham watched as the boss's men were dragged in. The queen's venom sank into a guy's back, and his face instantly withered. Meanwhile, her own skin started glowing with life. Thousands of spider eggs appeared, hatching into a literal army of monsters right before his eyes. Hakham's jaw hit the floor. Wait, did you seriously give birth to all these? She laughed. I'm keeping you alive just to watch. Once those girls bring me the snacks I asked for, I'll turn you all into fertilizer for my babies. How fun, right? He breathed a sigh of relief. Man, you scared me. I thought you were the third sister for a second. Turns out you're just some weird baby-making monster. That set her off. What did you say? If you're that eager to die, I'll be happy to help. Hackham shrugged. You're only using them because you're scared of the light, aren't you? The queen stammered. How? How did you? Hackham smirked to himself. Jackpot. His bluff worked perfectly. He started playing her. You picked this nest because the legendary gear attracts plenty of victims, right? Look, I'm stuck and dying anyway. Might as well tell me where the high-level loot is before I kick the bucket. The queen lunged at him, fuming. You talk too much. I'm ending this right now. Hackham just rolled his eyes. Whoa, getting touchy over a few questions? Relax. Just before her stinger hit him, his powers surged. His protective armor kicked in, and he swung a heavy punch. He smashed her venomous tail into pieces before she could even react. She was completely stunned. You're totally fine? How is that possible? My venom should have paralyzed you completely. Hackham grinned. It did, for a bit. But now, I'm a poison type too. System alert. Used Ice Heart Pill. Fire attribute changed to poison. Duration, 30 minutes. The queen couldn't believe this punk had an ace up his sleeve, so what if you're immune to my venom? I can still tear you apart with my bare hands. Babies, eat him up! As the swarm rushed in, Hackham realized he didn't actually have any poison moves yet. He needed a plan. Fast, let's draw a card. All right, system, don't screw me over this time. If I die, your show's over. He pulled a card and blinked. Wait, what is this? A blinding light exploded from the card, leaving him totally shocked. He stared at a selfie of Vantuong dressed in a Lolita outfit. His brain was just full of question marks. Attributes? She looks familiar. Before he could re-roll, thick smoke filled the room. Vantuong appeared with a grin. Congrats, you pulled a super rare me. From now on, we're partners. Now you can see me even without your gear. Happy now? Hackham's face went white. Not even a little bit. Go back into the card. Right now. The queen was fuming that they were ignoring her. She dove down, screaming, I'm standing right here. Are you seriously just going to chat while I'm trying to kill you? Hackham shoved Vantuong aside. Better than nothing, I guess. So, what can you actually do? Help me take out this freak spider lady. The queen shrieked. Who are you calling a freak? The girl just shrugged. My level is too low to summon weapons. But I can definitely whip up some basic everyday items for you. Hackham was hopeful. Fine, whatever works. Just give me something. She started listing them off. A lute made of dragon tendons? A jade bed carved from cloudstone? How about a cloak made of black bird feathers? Which one do you want? The queen burst out laughing. Are you two trying to kill me with comedy? I've never seen such a pathetic pair in my entire life. Hackham yelled in embarrassment. Don't you have any actual combat gear? Vantuong just looked helpless. At this stage, my items have exactly 0 attack power. Sorry about that. Hackham suddenly remembered. Hey, do you have that travel tool the judge used? Vantuong started digging through her space storage. Let me look. Are you trying to bail already? Hackham snapped back. Just find it. Fast! The queen caught on and kicked it into overdrive. Thinking of escaping? In your dreams. I'm going to rip your flesh into tiny pieces. Hackham warned Vantuong. I cannot hold her off much longer. Let me know the second you find it. The queen's arm shifted into a deadly spike. Die! Hackham slammed his shield up just in time. He wondered how many people she had devoured to get this strong. A simple punch packed insane power. Her arm ripped right through his shield. Hackham dodged back, barely missing death. He slammed into the ground, leaving a massive crater behind him. Right then, Vantuong pulled out a scroll. The queen saw it and immediately spat out webs to strike. Hackham got tangled in the webs, but he managed to snag the scroll. That cocky grin returned to his face. He tossed it up and activated it. Go. A spatial rift tore open like a long streak of light. Seeing him frozen, she gloated. How childish. You can barely even breathe now, can you? My diamond spider silk has you completely trapped. You can't even move, let alone escape through this tunnel. Hackham smirked. Who said I was running? I'm just inviting a guest from outside. Blinding sunlight poured through the rift, hitting the queen directly. Her body instantly began to sear under the light. Watching his opponent smoke and sizzle, Hackham was stunned. He didn't expect the sun's power to be this brutal. The queen finally realized his plan. You could have escaped those webs easily. You just wanted me to stay put. Hackham nodded. Exactly. I was just buying time. She started begging for her life. Hero, please, spare me. I will be your slave, your horse, anything. I will definitely pay you back. Hackham fired a blast of energy, severing her joints. Thanks for the offer, but I'll pass. Vantuong was curious. Wow, killed her that fast? No questions about her rare items? He replied, no rush. The loot isn't going anywhere. We have bigger fish to fry first. A notification popped up. Congratulations, player. You have just leveled up 2 times. Hakam suddenly spoke up. Did you notice that? The little girl looked confused. Notice what? He frowned, sharing his suspicion. The system didn't say I was the first to hit level 5. Someone beat me to it. If that person is Tung Yu, we are in trouble. Hakam rushed outside just as Lamphai's car pulled up right on time. She called out his name. Hakam, he urgently updated her. The spider monster is dead. Now I'm going after Tung Yu. Have your team lock down the building and find that landing tool. Lamphai nervously suggested. I'm coming with you. Hakam tossed the scroll into the air and a spatial rift appeared. He finally said, no need. Too many people will just tip him off. Lamphai looked at him with pride. I knew you wouldn't go down that easily. Suddenly, her subordinate shouted, someone is on the wall. Lamphai gasped. What? They immediately opened fire on the shadow. Lamphai barked out orders. Team 1, follow me. Don't let him get away. The whole squad cheered. She thought to herself, is Tung Yu really still inside the building? Did he already take the tool? Out on the Maisun highway, a car was flying down the road. Loud laughter echoed from inside. We are finally rich. 2 thugs inside were happily staring at their prize. The boss was totally right. There really was a tool on that bridge. Boss is a freaking genius. Suddenly, a thud on the roof caught their attention. One guy asked, what was that noise? The bald guy snapped, just keep driving. It was probably just a tree branch. Let's get out of here. It was Hakam. He had dropped right onto their roof. Inside, they still hadn't noticed and kept talking. Don't let the boss think we're keeping this for ourselves. If he gets pissed, we are dead meat. The car pulled up to a building. We're here. But why did the boss pick this middle-of-nowhere dump for a hideout? Another guy came out to greet them. Well, Laungi, how was the haul? Laungi replied. 18 items total. We're the last team back. The other guy nodded. One team at the hotel still hasn't checked in. Signal must be trash. Laungi asked, where's the boss? The guy replied, no idea. Probably sleeping. We'll go wake him up once everyone else gets here. Hakam was hiding under the car, thinking, this guy gathered a mob in just a few days. I need a smart way to find him without getting caught. He watched 2 thugs complaining. The grass out here is poking my butt. Shut it, or you'll deal with it inside. The one whining was Tai Ditch. He started sobbing. You guys already took all my money. Why won't you just let me go? You people aren't even human, the thug barked back. Stop your yapping. You want to die? Suddenly, Tai Ditch caught a glimpse of Hakam. Without missing a beat, he jumped out and knocked the thug cold. Tai Dick's jaw dropped. Ha! But Hakam instantly covered his mouth. He whispered a dark threat. Make one more sound, and I will shove this so far up your backside. Got it? Looking at the thug tied to a tree, Tai Ditch started sucking up. Brother Hak, you are even closer to me than my own father. I can't believe you came to save me. Hakam cut him off. Stop talking. Saving you was an accident. Now untie me. Tai Ditch obeyed, then asked. All done. Let's go. So, where is the getaway car? Hakam blinked. What car? Tai Ditch was stunned. You didn't drive here? Are you seriously making me walk down this mountain? He patted him on the shoulder. Of course there is a car. We just have to steal it. Now, where is Tung Yu? Hakam threw on the thug's clothes and led a tied-up Tai Ditch into the apartment building. The guard at the door asked, what took you so long? He explained, this brat was being a total pain. I am taking him upstairs. You just keep a sharp eye out here. The guard grunted. Tai Ditch pointed toward a room. Tung Yu is in there, Hakam whispered. Good job. Wait here. Tai Ditch begged under his breath. Man, can you hurry it up? There are dozens of thugs in this building. A girl suddenly appeared in front of him, making him stop dead in his tracks. Hakam frowned, feeling stuck. The girl spotted him too. Hakam spoke first. Leaving a girl to guard the place? That's not really his style. She heard him and just burst out laughing. You're a funny one, but I can't just let you take this for free. Her razor-sharp claws slid out, ready for action. You have to beat me first. He curiously asked Van Tuong, how the heck can her hands do that? She replied, she is a biochemical human from the game with transformation powers. Hearing this, Hakam started sweating buckets. I didn't realize your game world was this diverse. I always thought it was just some cultivation thing. Van Tuong huffed with pride. I am a vast space after all. I can hold anything. The cyborg girl lunged at them. Stop talking. Hakam casually dodged her claws. Look, sis, can we get to the point? Where did Tung Yu run off to? Just tell me straight, okay? The cyborg girl was speechless with rage. You! She swung her claws again. You can find out after you're dead. Hakam kept dodging calmly. Are all the girls in this game this stubborn? Van Tuong watched closely and realized something crazy. He isn't using any special gear or power-up drugs, yet he is dodging those brutal attacks with total ease. His character stats have definitely evolved. He spoke up. Come on, pick up the pace. Your rhythm is way too slow for me. She drops her trump card immediately. You think you're tough? Take this. She is all talk, but I am keeping it cool as usual. Wait, a new move? Something nasty is coming out of that biofreak's mouth. Her tongue shoots out like a literal power drill. Even Hackham is grossed out. I cannot even look at this bio-human straight. She is radiating pure malice. All she wants is to kill, kill, kill. Hackham is actually stunned. How is she still talking with a mouth like that? Wait, no way. That voice is definitely coming from a second mouth further down. The bio-human lunges at him, screaming about being insulted. Hackham stays chill, just dodging to the side. But then he sees his shirt is shredded. Okay, now he is getting serious. This girl is actually fast. She is shocked too. Damn, he actually dodged that? Using the roof for leverage, the bio creature fires her spiked tongue straight down at him. She circles Hackham like a predator while the whole room starts falling apart. Let us see you dodge this one. Van Tuong sees those energy bolts flying and starts sweating. Hey kid, stop showing off and get out of there already. The drill tongue is right behind Hackham. Too late? Nope. His armor kicks in, blowing her mind. Her tongue slams into that solid dragon armor shield, and she lets out a scream of pure agony. The biohuman collapses, completely defeated. He stands over her cold as ice. You might be fast, lady, but you are definitely not as tough as I am. Van Tuong cheers him on, so he purposely baited her just to crush her moves with the dragon armor. He just shrugs. What else? If I went all out from the start, I would just be tipping off the rest of them. Suddenly, a shout rings out, kill! He realizes instantly that things are going south. The noise was way too loud. They have officially alerted everyone outside. Dick sees him and exhales. Man, finally you are out. Hackham looks around, totally confused. What is the deal? Police cars are everywhere downstairs. He is guessing the cops showed up just as Longfi makes her entrance. He spots her and snaps. Wait, did I not tell you to lock down the hotel? Why did you bring a whole squad up here? She is out of breath and blurts out. Someone swiped the gear from the hotel. I have been chasing her the whole way. Did you see anyone acting sketchy? Hackham's eyes immediately lock onto that one room. He bolts inside while Dick yells from behind. Is it over yet? He kicks the door open and spots a girl trying to make a break for it. He lets out a blast of fire. Drop the gear now. The girl takes a direct hit. Hackham winds up a punch and smirks. Great, another one? I have already dealt with 2 girls tonight. I do not mind adding you to the list. She says sweetly. You caught me. You are exactly the kind of man I admire. Outside, Longfi is totally speechless. Wait, this is not the third person we were looking for. She gets serious and says, let me introduce myself. I am Huang Due, and I came here specifically to marry you. Hackham repeats it, confused. She pouts and gives him a look. Ugh, gross. No touching before the wedding, okay? You cannot have more yet. Realizing the mix-up, he screams, No, I was just talking about your name. Longfi rushes in and fires a shot at Huang Due. Quit the yapping. She is nothing but a total fraud. She pins her to the floor. Why did you steal the landing gear? Are you working with the enemy? Pinned down, Huang Due explains that stealing something precious from her dream husband is just part of the test. It is a tradition in our thief tribe. Hackham is curious now. Thief tribe? Van Tuong explains they live in some valley in the west. The whole tribe has about 300 people. 400 people who make a living stealing stuff with their own weird culture. Hearing this, Hackham walks over and pats Longfi on the shoulder. Longfi gets the hint and lets her go. He looks her in the eye. So, what is this marriage test you were talking about anyway? Huang Due answers, You are our only hope to escape the Demon King's rule. Legend says you are the only man who can beat him. I want to marry you, then have you take him down. He tries to be reasonable. Look, I can help you without the whole wedding thing. But Huang Due throws a punch he barely dodges. No way, that does not work for us. Our tribe will not accept help from outsiders unless they are family by marriage. Hackham just sighs and gives up. Fine, whatever. We will deal with that later. Let us just get moving first. Huang Due lights up instantly. Awesome, our tribe is finally saved. They wanted to marry me off to that Demon King for peace, but no way. Marrying a hero is way better. Hackham puts it together. So you are a runaway bride, huh? She just nods. Exactly. I did not want to be that monster's wife, so I bailed. Hackham has a question. Are you not worried he will kill everyone in your tribe? She just shrugs. It is fine. I will just bring you back to get revenge for them. He is speechless. Wow, you are pretty cold-blooded. He asks if this Demon King is actually tough. She nods instantly. Super strong. We cannot even touch him. Watching them through the security cameras, the observer smirks. A Demon King? Now that is interesting. He looks totally relaxed. The girl beside him whispers softly, Master? What exactly did you find so interesting just now? He lifts her chin with a smirk, his cocky laughter echoing through the villa. Meanwhile, Ha Ham brings Huang Diu home. Okay, let us do introductions. This is Quan Kai, that is Luke Q, and this girl is… Huang Diu greets them with a huge smile. Hey everyone, I am Huang Diu, Ha Ham's future wife. Looking forward to getting to know you all. Hearing that, the other two girls get a dark look. Fiancé? Who exactly agreed to that? Huang Diu is clueless. What? Did you not know we are together forever? Luke Ku pulls her long sword instantly. I get it. You want to try and steal him from me? Stop talking and draw your blade. Only the strongest woman around here gets the right to be with him. Huang Du agrees. Fine, but the loser has to back off. Luke Ku snaps back. If you lose, I am sewing your mouth shut. She keeps going, break this safe house and you are all sleeping on the street. Hakam just groans. Go ahead, destroy it. I am too tired for this. Suddenly, a phone call cuts through the tension. He picks up immediately. What is the status? Fanco reports back. I pulled the background data from the game, but there is zero record of that biohuman landing anywhere, which means she did not get here the normal way. Hakam wonders, wait, did they figure out how to open the portal themselves? Fanco answers, if they did, they could technically drag any game character they want into the real world. He is definitely planning something huge. You need to watch your back. He lets it sink in. Got it. I am on it. He hangs up and collapses onto the bed. What a total pain in the neck this guy is. So, what is the actual plan here? Over at the secret lab, the scientists are working around the clock. Everyone is staring at the prototype. The boss walks in. Hey, Professor, how is the progress looking? He looks up. Almost there. Whoever coded this software was a literal genius. Seriously, with just a few more tweaks, we can pinpoint any character in the game dimension and literally pull them right into our world. He pins a location and shouts. Suddenly, a portal rips open, sending the staff running in terror. Wings slowly emerge. The Demon King has been summoned. He looks around coldly. Which one of you mortals dared to call me here? The boss drops to his knees instantly. Great Demon King, please forgive my boldness for inviting you. I happen to know exactly where your runaway bride is hiding, and I know she has found a helper to take you down. Look, if you're down, we can roll together. Meanwhile, back at Hakam's place, the guy slept straight through until the next morning. Morning light hits the room. Hakam gets dressed and heads for the door. What is all this racket so early? Downstairs, Tai Ditch has actually rented out a whole suite. The dude is drooling over the three girls in front of him, their total smoke shows. He's creepily checking them out those chests, scanning down to their waists, and yeah, definitely that backside too. Hakam stretches as he walks out. What's the deal? Someone getting married? The guard explains. They're here for you. Did you seriously forget? Hakam is shocked to see who it is. Tai Ditch? The guy immediately drops to his knees and grabs Hawk's legs. Father Hawk! His eyes are literally sparkling with pure admiration. I was stupid and offended you before, Pop. Please don't hold it against me. Hakam is already annoyed. Who's your dad? I don't have a son like you. Stop calling me that. Tai Ditch backs off and bows his head. Yes, father. From now on, your son will do exactly what you say to repay you for this rebirth. Hakam gives up and heads inside. Whatever, just come in. Quan Kai cheers about breakfast, but Hawk is over it. I lost my appetite. Tai Dick stops him. Wait, I've got major intel. Hakam immediately locks in. Major intel, huh? He brings everyone inside and gets straight to the point. Spit it out. What kind of information are we talking about here? The guy explains that while he was locked up by Tunyo, he saw a professor who'd also been kidnapped. Hakam gets a bad feeling. What was this professor's name? Tai Dick says he only knows his last name is Lu. Looks just like Einstein. Apparently, Tunyu wants the old man to help him build some kind of crazy device. Fanco does some digging. Tung Jiang, a top-tier quantum mechanics expert from Dongmin University, went missing 3 days ago. Turns out Tunyu snatched him. Hakam wonders why he'd do that. Fanco can't figure it out. It's definitely nothing good. We need to catch that jerk fast. Hakam looks at her and blushes, muttering, yeah, you're right about that. Fanco doesn't even notice he's staring. I can monitor the quantum waves. If they try anything, they'll leave a trace. But Hakam is completely distracted by her assets. She suddenly says, oh, I have a gift for you. Hakam turns away, face red. Sure, sounds good. She's confused by his weird vibe. Why is your face so red? Hakam waves it off. It's nothing, must be the heat in here or something. Fanco tells him to hang on while she goes to grab the gift. Watching her open the safe, he thinks, this is crazy. We've done this before, so why is my heart still pounding like a drum? Fanco explains she's being way more careful with the important stuff now. Hakam is totally lost in his own thoughts. Guess we rushed it last time. Fanco pulls out a small box. Here it is. Put this on right now. He looks at the bracelet skeptically. How does this thing even work? She tells him to give it a tap. Suddenly, 3 glowing rings of light wrap around his wrist. Whoa, what is this? Fan Co reveals it's a virtual item bracelet she invented. It converts metal counts into gear directly on the wrist. When you need to use something, you just hit activate and you're good to go. Ha Com is hyped. That's actually genius. She adds that it's perfect for items with time limits. She already talked to Lam Phi to take down Tu Nhu. They need to focus at Nguyen Len. She went to talk to the chief already. We should be able to get all the gear and metals we've collected very soon. Over at Lu Bo's, he explains the gear is stuck in the Secret Service and he can't touch it. Lam Phi snaps, so you'll just let it sit there? Or wait for Tu Nhu to steal it again? Van Sun says the mayor called. He wants to give the resources to someone with unwavering will, noble character, high morals, someone who loves kids and works hard. Basically, a perfect gentleman. He's supposed to protect the city's peace. Since he's the big boss, I don't really have a choice but to follow orders. Over at the mayor's place, laughter fills the room. Mayor Lu Ba tells his son, "Kid, I got the goods for you. Now let's see what you can actually do with them." This guy supposedly won an elementary writing contest and got a mayor's medal. He's the model citizen of the city. He sucks up to his dad. "Don't worry, I got this. Tu Nhu is nothing. Tomorrow, I'm gonna crush him." Lu Ba mocks his son. The Secret Service can't even find the guy. And you think you're gonna take him down tomorrow? Why don't you just fly to the moon then? The son asks what the plan is. The mayor looks devious. "I heard Tu Nhu and that Hakam guy are rivals. We use him as bait to lure the villain out." Lam Phi leads Hakam to the training room. He's confused. "What am I doing here? Why did he call me?" Lam Phi is ticked off. "This brat claims he doesn't know how to use gear and wants me to teach him." Hakam is surprised. "Wait, is this kid actually trying to learn something?" Suadon is on the phone. "Hey, can you give me a headline for the next 2 days? Yeah, some really hot news." Seeing them arrive, he hangs up. "Talk later. I'll buy you dinner." "Bye-bye." He acts all polite. "This must be our big hero, Hakam, right?" Hakam smiles and reaches out to shake his hand. "I'm Suadon," he says, acting super friendly. "You're a total legend, the most reliable protector of our city." He just keeps piling on the fake compliments. Hakam is humble. "Oh, I don't know about all that." Inside, he's suspicious. He's wondering what this guy's angle is. The kid brings out a tray of gold. "I'm not that smart, but I have to do this job. Please help me get stronger, hero." Hakam is shocked. "You sure you want to do this yourself? Fighting isn't a game." Swadon acts confident. "The people support me. They chose me for this role, so I have to give it my all for the country. If I don't step up and go through hell, then who will?" A bright light shines from the guy, blinding them both. "Whoa, what kind of gear is that? It's literally too bright to look at." Swadon asks his team how it looks. A whole camera crew is standing there. One guy shouts, "It's heartfelt, truly moving. So righteous, it's perfect." He tells them to edit the photos fast and send them to the station for prime time. The staff rushes off to work. "Yes, sir," Hakam speaks up. "Well, you certainly care about the details, so are we actually going to start the lesson now? I've got a few things I can share." 2 bodyguards immediately bring over a chair. Swadon sits down and starts soaking up the royal treatment. Man, standing up for that long is exhausting. I really didn't want to get involved in all this annoying business. Lam Phi is disgusted. "Stop acting like a victim. If the country hadn't called for elite fighters, guys like you wouldn't be trying to cash in on this." Hakam catches a phrase. "Elite fighters? What's that?" She explains it's insider news. Apparently, the big bosses are deciding. If you get picked, your whole family is set for life. It's a straight shot to the top. Suadon denies it. "You've got it all wrong. I don't care about some national team. If my old man hadn't forced me into this, I wouldn't touch this mess with a 10-foot pole. Look, I've actually got some game already tracked down Tu Nhu's location." Hakam's jaw hit the floor, right? I told him, "I've got connects in the underworld and the high life. Tracking down one target is a total cakewalk for a pro like me." Hakam grabs the address from the paper. "So he's hiding here? You better go take care of times and handle him right now." He voices his doubts. "If you found him, why aren't you making a move yet?" Suadon explains the risk is just too high. "If I could take down Tu Nhu myself, the old man wouldn't have had to die saving me. Besides, I'm still vibing with this new combat form not officially ready for the big leagues." Lam Phi shoots back, questioning if the intel is even legit or not. Swadon keeps it cold. "If this is a bust, come for my head, I'll pay with my life." Hakam doesn't wait. "Let's roll." Lam Phi tells him she's calling the department to request backup right now. Hakam snaps back, saying they should head straight in, otherwise they'll just spook the target. Swadon sees the bait's been swallowed and gives the order. "Guard team, move out." The bodyguard replies, "Copy that." Hakam reaches the creepy abandoned water plant on the outskirts. They're chilling in the car when Lam Phi speaks up. According to Swadon's intel, Tu Nhu is definitely holed up inside that plant. He says, "No rush. Let's see what game he's playing first." She doesn't get Hawk Ham's vibe yet, but he knows the guy is obsessed with his own reputation. Why would he just hand me the chance to bust Tun Yu? All that talk was just to bait me here. Lam Fai is shook. You knew something was off this whole time and just played along? Hawk Ham keeps it real. If he wants to play mind games, let's give him a show. He's probably using me as live bait to lure Tun Yu out. I'm actually curious how he's going to leak my location to the guy. Lam Fai's phone blows up. Hello? The voice on the other end reports in. Officer Lam, the security team is dealing with a major power failure right now. Every single security camera is dead. The suspect who cut the power already vanished. She's stunned and shouts, "What?" The caller adds that the crew she busted 2 days ago has disappeared too. Hawk Ham puts the pieces together, so that's the play using these thugs to spread the word. Lam Fai barks out orders, telling them to organize a full citywide manhunt immediately. Copy that. Meanwhile, Tun Yu's goons are kneeling and reporting in. The guard unit is in total chaos, everyone bailed. Our brothers took the chance and made a clean getaway. Please, boss, give us another shot, let us stay and work for you. One guy whispers to Tunya that they checked and weren't followed. The cops are swamped with the citywide search, so this isn't some intentional trap. He finally speaks up. So, you're saying Hawk Ham is currently hiding out at that abandoned water plant on the edge of town? The whole squad nods in agreement. Exactly. I heard it with my own ears from a Secret Service agent. He mentioned he couldn't go out for drinks because he had to rush to the abandoned plant to protect Hawk Ham from an assassination attempt. Apparently, the guy moved there because he is terrified. Tunyu just laughs. So that's the game? What a pathetic acting job. They really think they can lure me into a trap with a story that lame. His right-hand man suggests ignoring it, but Tunyu knows better. Whether it's a trap or not, Hawk Ham will be there, and that's all that matters. With that powerful figure on our side, their little games are useless. Over on Suadon's side, they're feeling themselves. The bodyguard starts kissing up, saying, "Boss, this move was genius. You've got Tun Yu and Hawk Ham wrapped around your little finger." He says, "I'm just waiting for those two to tear each other apart. Then, I'll drop in like a god from the heavens, crush everyone left standing, and enjoy the show." Several cars pull up to the abandoned plant. Lam Fai spots them through her scope. "They're here." Hawk Ham asks if it's Tunya, and she confirms it. "Yep, that's definitely him." Hawk Ham looks relaxed. Now that the main star has arrived, tell the supporting cast it's showtime. "System," Van Tuong pops up, asking what's the deal. He looks at her and says, "Swadon definitely has spies lurking around here to report back. Go find them for me." Van Tuong is annoyed. "I told you, I'm just an observer. I can't get involved, so find them yourself." Hawk Ham whispers a deal to her if you help me now. Next time I'll use that special pose with her. She agrees instantly deal. Hawk Ham adds, "No taking it back." Watching the system drool over her, Lam Fai gets a bad vibe. Why is she looking at me like I'm a snack? She bolts outside, telling them to wait for her signal. Hawk Ham explains that even though this system has some weird quirks, she's pretty handy. Lam Fai asks suspiciously, "What exactly did you two just talk about?" Over by Tunya, his goons come back from searching. "Boss, there's nobody here. My side is totally empty too." Another thug is suspicious. "What kind of move is this? We basically walked into their trap, yet no one is making a move." He pulls up a chair for Tunya, who stays chill. "No rush, just wait." Swadon's guys are camped out on the nearby ridge. They report that Tunyu is just sitting there. Swadon is shocked. "What? Then where the hell did that jerk Hawk Ham go?" "I'm already on my way. If he doesn't show up, what's the point of me being there?" He wonders if that coward saw things getting messy and decided to bail. Suat-on orders the driver to pull a U-turn up ahead. No risks today. The driver says, "Yes, sir." Suddenly, the radio crackles, "Wait. It's Hawk Ham. He's here." Suat-on snaps back. "You for real?" The voice continues. They started swinging the second they saw each other. "Both are going all out. It's total chaos down there." Suat-on is loving it. "I really am a master strategist. How is one man so incredibly brilliant?" "Good work. I'll be there in a sec." His subordinate acknowledges the order. "Roger that." With a face full of bruises, the guy asks them, "Hey man, I said exactly what you told me to. Can I go now?" Lam Fai just grins and holds up the handcuffs. "Nope, time for your punishment." 10 minutes later, Suaton's car rolls into the plant. The driver, who's also his guard, stays alert and warns him that it's way too quiet inside. He snaps, "Shut it! It's been so long that a winner's already been decided." The car smashes through the gates and stops in the yard. Suaton steps out, looking like he's already won. He says confidently, "Listen up, trash. Your master is here to clean this mess up." But seeing Tunyo just sitting there perfectly fine, Suaton's eyes nearly pop out of his head. Tunyo coldly orders his men to bring him over. The thugs start marching toward him. Swadon panics, trying to chase after the car his cowardly bodyguard is currently using to bail out. Wait for me! I'm not even in the car yet! Get back here! Realizing there's no escape, Swadon grinds his teeth and accepts reality. He spins around and drops into a fighting stance. Don't think I'm an easy target. Come get some. You think I'm a kitten just because I'm not roaring? The three thugs just smirk, looking at his little performance with total contempt. Swadon gets absolutely wrecked, taking hits until his face is a total mess. Those three thugs just won't quit, and all Swadon can do is curl up and scream in pure agony. Tunyu coldly demands to know where Haham is, but the guy just sobs, claiming he was tricked by that punk. Tunyu figures if the kid pulled a prank like this, he's definitely nearby watching the show. If that's the case, this just got a lot easier to handle. Lamfi asks if they should go over there. He replies that he never trusted Swadon anyway. Even with all those resources, he couldn't force Tunyo to show his hand. Since we still don't know his actual strength yet, let's just keep it low-key for now. We will follow them later to see exactly where their secret hideout is located. But suddenly, a new force surrounds the gates from behind. A dark voice rumbles from the shadows. You little sewer rat, I finally found you. I watched the peak where the Demon King stood explode into dust. Thought I trapped the tiger in a pit. He just stared back, ice cold. Fast move, kid. Anyone else would have been literal ground beef by now. Some poor grunt took the hit for him. I did not mind. Too easy. Lamfi was shaking, asking if I was okay or if I had lost it. I asked the system if this guy crawled out of the game too. Van Tuong said yep. I checked his stats and felt a chill. This monster could crush me into a pulp from across the room. Van Tuong told me to move so she could max out my luck. But I knew the Demon King would not give me a window. Lamfi was panicking next to me, asking what my plan was. I asked the guy, Lord of the Abyss, what is your deal? If you are just bored, there are way better ways to kill time. Why team up with a loser like that instead of having real fun? The king snapped back, calling me the lowlife who stole his girl. He said his favorite game was making people like us wish for death but never finding it. Total psycho vibes, honestly. My face went pale after hearing that. Great. I am definitely going to die because of her. He started ranting about how boring this world is and how he would wipe out half of humanity just to smell the fear in the air. I stayed cool. Oh yeah? Some guy thought the same thing a few years back. Do you know what happened to him? He fell for it and asked what happened. I tossed the scroll onto the ground and a massive portal circle started glowing. Lamfi got sucked into the portal, screaming my name in a panic. The scroll closed up. The Demon King looked confused, asking why I did not try to run with her. I knew that at this range, my body might make the jump, but he would keep my head right here. He laughed and told me I was sharp. I just told him the guest had left. My Azure Dragon armor locked into place around me. I gave the command to start. The Demon King flared his dark energy, and I threw my shield up instantly. His dark energy slammed right into my new shield. The raw power was terrifying. He looked at me with those cold eyes, like I was nothing more than a tiny ant. Like a bug under a heel, he pointed 2 fingers at me. I thought, another finger? A massive wave of force crashed down on me, shaking the entire mountain to its core. People below were shouting, wondering what was falling from the sky. Meanwhile, I was gritting my teeth, barely holding on. Van Tuong begged me to stop and just hide for now. I told her no. If he does not find me, he will destroy everything. He threw another palm strike down. It is over. I could not even move my body against that pressure. Even the boss's own goons were struggling to stay upright under his massive power. Then, a huge explosion erupted, sending flames into the sky. The king stared down at the smoke and dust. His lackey rushed over to kiss up, saying how easy it was for his lordship to squash that Hawkham brat. But the king sensed something. He is still alive, he muttered. The minion could not believe it. No way. Everyone down there was completely wiped out. Even with the best armor, nobody survives a hit like that. The Demon King paused, thinking maybe it was just an illusion. But Hawkham was definitely still breathing, groaning in total pain. I found myself in a quiet forest, holding my pounding head. I was so confused. Am I dead? Van Tuong snapped at me immediately. In your dreams. If you die, my game never gets finished. I looked at her, totally lost. A copy? She nodded and said it was an emergency, so she pulled me into a temporary instance to hide and recover. I picked an E-rank instance for you. It is the easiest level, perfect for players around level 7. Time moves 10 times slower here than in the real world. You need to grind here a few times to boost your stats before heading back out. I got my spirit back and asked where the boss was hiding. Van Tuong thought for a second and said it was probably some black-headed bear monster. This place looks different than I remember. Look around. Inside a quiet cave, a gold-armored earth dragon was fast asleep. This was a D-rank instance, meant for level 10 players or higher. Back at the house, the girls heard the noise and ran to the door, Lam Fi was panting, looking like she had just run a marathon. She told them something happened to Hakam and to follow her. Meanwhile, inside the instance, I was searching around. I figured I would pull a few more cards and gear up before dealing with that guy. Is this going to work? Van Tuong said the level gap was massive. No matter how much gear I had, it would be hard to make up for the lack of raw power. I asked how many more rounds I needed to hit level 9. She ran the numbers and said about 30 more if everything went smooth. That sounds like a pain. Can we not just jump to a higher level? Van Tuong was not having it. Listen, kid, you have to stay within your limits. With your current skill, facing a D-rank boss would be a total suicide mission for sure. There are some weak mobs here that are easy to beat. Just focus on finding the boss. While we were talking, a monster suddenly jumped out to ambush us from the shadows. I saw the beast charging and asked if that was the boss. Van Tuong said no, it is just a wild demon. Then it slammed its club down, cracking the ground open. I barely managed to dodge it. I stared at the destruction and wondered if that was really a wild demon. The beast swung its wooden club again, so I quickly activated my Azure Dragon armor. The club slammed into my armor and bounced right back. That one hit let me feel its true strength. You sure about this? Van Tuong looked worried and said, wait, something is wrong. I checked the stats. It was a berserk goblin, level 6, with wood attributes. I got serious. Talk about luck. I did not even have to look for it. It came right to me. One level lower than me? A perfect target. Van Tuong was confused, wondering if she actually put a berserk goblin in this instance. Meanwhile, I was already busy drawing my next set of cards. I held up a card and picked the equipment type. The goblin swung its club again, but a flash of light sliced through the air. Its wooden weapon was instantly cut in half. The monster stared at the smoking handle in its hand. I looked at my new blade. Man, what a nice sword. System alert, congrats. You got the SS legendary equipment, Thundershock. Attribute, lightning, attack power +1. 500 chance to trigger a lightning crit, though it drops with every hit. It recharges over time. The goblin was fuming now. I gripped the sword and asked if it was lost without its weapon. Found a weak spot. I slashed right through the beast. As the boss collapsed behind me, I just stared at the blade. Honestly, this feels pretty amazing. I looked at the massive XP drop and felt great. 500 experience points. Killing for cash really pays off. Van Tuong chimed in too. See? I told you grinding in instances would help you level up. The system updated my progress, giving my attack, defense, speed, and mental power a nice little boost. I asked if I had to wait for the instance to reset so I could farm that goblin again. She said sure, the XP might drop a bit next time, but it is still worth it. A sudden noise made us look up. A whole swarm of goblins was charging our way. I froze. Is having this many bosses at once even legal? Man, Varn Turng finally realized we messed up. You entered the wrong dungeon instance, bro. These aggressive monsters are just small fry. The real boss hasn't even showed his face yet. Hearing that made you break a sweat? Seriously? A level 6 is just a side dish here? That's insane. So how cracked is the actual boss? Varn Turng didn't have any specific stats yet. Honestly, I have no idea how this glitch even happened. Maybe you were in such a rush that you opened the wrong portal. Gripping the Thunderblade, you braced yourself. Bring it on. I'm not scared of death. The monsters suddenly started whimpering like they were terrified of something else entirely. Then the whole pack bolted in fear. Hakam stammered as a massive shadow loomed right behind him. Varn Turng whispered that those monsters weren't running away because of you. They were running from the thing behind you. A wave of pure pressure hit Hakam, putting him on high alert. They were staring down a mountain of a beast. That suffocating feeling could only come from the legendary gold-armored Earth Dragon. The monster's stat window popped up. It's the gold-armored Earth Dragon, level 10, metal element. Its base attributes are absolutely terrifying. Hakam begged for a way out. This thing looks chill for now, but I'm gone before it decides to eat me. Get me out of this instance. Varn Turng cold-shouldered him. There's only two ways out of a duplicate world. Either you die, or that thing does. Hearing that chilled his bones. Wow, what a lovely rule. Thanks a lot for nothing. Varn Turng just kept her cool and replied calmly. Dying in here isn't a big deal. You'll respawn in the real world anyway. You'll just lose some experience points. Hakam wasn't having it. My experience is too precious. I'd rather go grind those small fry monsters to level up first. When I'm strong enough, I'll come back and deal with the dragon. Varn Turng actually liked the plan. Smart move, kid. You're quick on your feet. But as they turned to leave, the dragon opened its maw and fired a beam. Hakam freaked out. Everything was peaceful a second ago. Why is it attacking now? Varn Turng explained that the dragon didn't want him to leave. Another massive energy blast slammed down. It's like the beast is begging you to stay forever. The dragon stared at the massive crater it made, confused that its prey had vanished. Varn Turng frantically called out for Hakam. A dusty hand reached up from the rubble as a weak voice muttered, I'm over here. He struggled to stand, still breathing, barely. Crawling out of the pit, he grumbled, "Good thing I popped my Azure Dragon armor in time, or I'd be toast." Then, a system notification flashed a warning. Warning. Azure Dragon armor durability dropped by 40%. That's a massive hit. If I keep fighting, I'm dead meat. Looking back, Ham felt a bit relieved. We're pretty far away now. It shouldn't catch up, right? It looks pretty slow and clunky. Varnturng hesitated before coming clean. Well, to balance out its slow movement speed, I kind of gave it a special skill during the design phase. Ham got a bad feeling. What kind of skill? He got his answer immediately. The dragon's black hole suction skill activated. Ham felt his body being dragged backward. He let out a curse. Are you freaking kidding me? He stabbed his thunderblade into the ground to anchor himself. System, whose side are you even on? Varnturng felt a little guilty about it. I never thought it would be used on you. Stop fighting it and just let go. Ham gripped the hilt of his blade even tighter. No way. My dragon armor is already trashed. If my level drops any further, I won't stand a chance against that Abyss Lord. Check the inventory for any useful items. Fast. Varnturng reached into the spatial storage. Let me see what I can find. His sword finally lost its grip and flew back. Watching him struggle, Varnturng screamed his name in panic. Ham acted fast, launching a powerful palm strike. Take this, you oversized lizard! His power slammed directly into the dragon's hard head. Then, he boosted his defense with his armor shield. Finally, the dragon shut its mouth. Everything went quiet as the suction force vanished. Varnturng gasped in surprise. It's over! That last strike was definitely a level 3 blow. But then something crazy happened. The dragon's mouth flew open again. The dragon's body was riddled with holes, and golden light started leaking out from the cracks. Suddenly, the whole beast exploded into tiny fragments. Ham had narrowly escaped certain death. His armor was ripped to shreds. He exhaled a long breath of relief. That dragon gear really saved my life. A screen popped up. Congrats! You cleared the rank D instance, Slumbering Earth Dragon. You gained rare materials. Dragon Bone +4. Muscle Strength +15. These can repair your defensive armor. You also earned a rank A rune badge. Dragon Scales. Boosts armor defense by 30% and adds 10% healing. You earned the Dragon Slayer title. Equipping it gives a 30% stat boost. If your opponent is a dragon, that bonus jumps to 100%. You unlock the lightning attribute and hit level 8. All your subskills leveled up too. Quest progress, 970 out of 2000. System message, congrats, you gained 2 levels, making you the first player worldwide to reach level 8. Your armor's durability is down to 1. Should we just throw it away? He looked at the armor with gratitude. You worked hard, buddy. There's no way I'm dumping you now. Use all the dragon bone and muscle strength to fully repair the Azure Dragon armor. Then, use the dragon scales to infuse the armor with extra magic power. System. Finally, a golden beam of light shot from his position straight into the sky. The blinding flash forced Ham to shield his eyes. System. Congrats. You obtained rank SS gear. Azure Dragon Plate armor. Passive. True Dragon Guard. Active. Blazing Dragon Breath. Varnturng shouted. That's a literal god-tier treasure right there. There are only 99 of these in the entire world. You're only level 8 and you have 1? That's insane luck. Ham just flashed a dangerous, cocky smile. Now I can go find that soldier. Meanwhile, at the Secret Service HQ, a voice echoed through the room. Why are we hiding in here? Long Fi explained the situation. Ham teleported me to you guys so I could keep you safe. Only the Secret Service headquarters can withstand their attack. Luke Keo snapped back. Who do you think you're talking to? I could level this entire place by myself. You'd better tell us where Ham is right now so we can go back him up. Quan Ki nodded in agreement. Exactly. If something happens to him, how am I supposed to carry on his legacy? Long Fi replied. He has the system. He'll be fine. Plus, the agency has upgraded its heavy weaponry. Suddenly, the building was attacked. A corner of the facility exploded as alarms blared. Enemy ambush! Officers immediately geared up and aimed their weapons at the figure standing in the smoke. Tung Yu and his thugs walked in calmly. Listen up, boys. I've got some advice for you. That tiny paycheck isn't worth dying for. Come work for me instead, and I'll help you reach the absolute top of the world. The police captain ordered them to fire. But one of the thugs raised a massive energy shield, blocking every single shot. Tung Yu ordered his crew to move in. The thugs charged forward, and one impatient guy threw a heavy punch. Suddenly, a sonic wave blasted down, stopping them in their tracks. Their arms were pinned down as they coughed up blood. The sonic waves covered the entire area. Fan Ko was the mastermind. She sneered, even with your fancy gear, you're still just fragile humans. Yu growled in frustration. That woman was actually helping the Secret Service against him? In the control room, the girls cheered at their small victory. This is incredible. What kind of weapon is that? We're winning. But Long Fi stayed serious. It won't be that easy. Where's the Abyss Lord hiding? She is sweating bullets, thinking it is game over. Then, right on cue, the ambush hits, and it is her turn next. Lam Fi screams into the radio. In the sky, heads up, look at the sky. The boss and her crew look up like, are you for real? The Demon King is already hovering there, smirking. Interesting, he says. Then he drops a single finger of absolute destruction, acting like it is totally nothing. Boom! The Secret Service building is blowing up everywhere. Lu Ku charges in like a total beast, her blade slicing straight through that creep's nasty demon energy. She barks out a cold order. Stay away from my man! Lu Ku keeps those sword beams flying while Quan Kai drops a shield to protect the boss. She yells out, full frontal assault! We win this! The Demon King just laughs. What a total moron. Meanwhile, Lu Ku is staring at her hand in complete shock because her sword is gone, all she has left is the hilt. He is still talking trash, so weak you can't even handle one hit. But right at that moment, Huang Dua sneaks up and stabs him right in the back. Her blade sinks in, but the king just growls, I still want you dead. Before she can even move, he grabs her by the throat and squeezes hard. He glares at Huang Dua. You lowlife. You actually dared to ditch our wedding and disrespect me? I am killing you first, then I am heading to your world to watch your people crawl in the dirt like maggots. Honestly, that is the only thing that actually entertains me. Hearing that makes her blood boil. You absolute animal, you monster, she spits, but deep down she is still waiting, praying for her hero. Where are you? Prayer answered. Hak Ham drops in and slams his sword right into the king's back. The power is so insane the king can't even find his words. You? How are you back? Long Fi lets out a breath. Phew! I knew you were too stubborn to die. Wait, that sounded kind of wrong. Lu Ku chimes in, saying the guy sure knows how to make an entrance. The king hits the dirt, totally stunned. How are you still breathing, kid? Hak Ham just stands there looking cool, like, look at me now, do I look like the same guy to you? He says, I took a trip to hell, but they rejected me, so I came back to kick your butt. The others are losing it, like, when the heck did this jerk learn how to fly? The flight charm only lasts 1 minute. Quit posing and get your feet on the ground. Hak Ham freezes. Wait, what? Why didn't you tell me that sooner? Seeing him distracted makes the king blow a fuse. He mumbles something and slams a wave of demon energy right at Hak Ham's head. The kid just bails and dives toward the ground. That demon energy shifts into homing arrows, chasing Hak Ham down. Even the boss is impressed. Whoa, those things can actually make turns? Suddenly, Gailio bursts out of the ground and grabs Hak Ham's legs. He's like, seriously, what now? The boss cheers his minion on. Nice, nobody breaks through my Gailio steel. That kid is officially toast. From a distance, the boss just sees a massive explosion. Long Fi is freaking out, whispering Hachham's name and low-key cursing his recklessness. He was already drained from that Abyss Lord fight. What an idiot. Why would he just walk into a death trap? The king is loving every second of it. He's shredded for sure. Letting him die that easily was almost too kind. The boss tells his guy, great job, you really stepped up. But then Hachham's voice pops up behind them. Whoa, that was a close one.